All right. No more fucking around with that shit. And by the way, I just broke every rule in the YouTube new rules. God, I can't believe I just did that. By the way, you guys, YouTube just set out a new rule that says if you cuss within the first 8 seconds, you get a strike. So, oh well, it is what it is. Thanks for hanging out, you guys. Yeah, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. This is the way we do it, you guys. We're going to get all that Discord stuff figured out. Bro, is it working? Hold on. I think it might be working. Is it working? It might be working now. I could be wrong, but the Discord might be working. It is. I think it is now. Holy cow. Nice. So it must have been something with, if you guys go in the Discord, you should be able to hear me now, and you should be able to hear everybody else. So you guys,
excuse me, sir, did you unplug the modem and plug it back in?
Dickhead. So yeah, you guys in the Discord should be able to jump in and hang out with us at least now, which is nice. Let me move the Discord over here, and we're gonna get into this like a regular show. By next week, all that shit will be figured out and rocking. The new Discord is up and rocking. It should be working now. So yeah, if you guys want to jump in the Discord, I should be coming through loud and clear, and you guys should hear everybody else too, which is nice. So
and we can all see the chat and everything too. So
yeah, everybody can see the chat. Yeah. So let me drop the link again for the invite to this and see if you guys can jump in. And if you guys can jump in, the only problem is you guys are gonna have to mute your YouTube, but you guys, all of us and everything that's said on here should be coming through now loud and clear. So we got the Stream Elements bot still running, which is very interesting. I don't know why that is, but it's still running, and that's very interesting. But there we go, you guys. There's the Discord link. Jump in there, see if it wants to. You guys go ahead and talk.
Yay! No. As we were talking about, do you want to give it a minute and let some more people get in here, Red Hood?
Yeah, because there's less people in here now, I think.
Yeah.
We'll
give it a few.
Hey, you still got those figures for sale, Wookie?
I do, and I'm okay. So I haven't been through entirely all of my boxes, but it's starting to. I'm starting to sweat a little bit because it's almost like I'm missing part of a box.
Yeah,
I literally am missing almost an entire Vader head of original figures. Now they could be loose and in the bottom of the box. They may have fell out. They may have whatever. And I got to finish going through that. But I'm missing like my Walrus Man, my Snaggletooth, my like 3 or 4 different Lukes, Tatooine Luke. I have like 2-3 of them fellers, and all that. So I'm kind of like, luckily, as you saw, I found my original Obi-Wans. And my original Vaders, 77. Now, as a kid, this is my.
Hold on, Solo, one sec. Hold on, Solo, one sec. Hey, you guys, can you guys hear me in the Discord? Okay.
Now, as a kid, it's my.
Yeah, you want to mute your YouTube, Marvel Man Comics, and then you should be able to hear me now coming through the Discord. Okay, right?
Your YouTube.
Because I can see your thing is lighting up. I should be able to hear you. Brian's Comic Garage is on mute, but now you guys should be able to talk. And if you unmute yourself, let me unmute Brian's Comic Garage. Funky Zilla, how's it going? Can you hear me? Okay.
You're yellow.
You're yellow.
Hey there, can you hear me? Check.
Breaker.
Breaker 19. I don't know what's going on, but I was hoping that they would be able to hear me, but I guess they can't for some reason now. I don't know why I got.
Hey Brian, I don't know if you can hear me, but I can hear you.
Oh, okay,
there you go.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out this mic stuff.
Yeah, how you guys doing?
Okay, now people are getting in there. Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Can you guys hear Solo Wookie and everybody else coming through also?
Yeah, we can hear everything.
Oh,
nice.
Nice.
Very cool. We got it working. So you're just going to want to make sure to mute yourself when you're not talking, because we can hear all your guys' background noise. But anytime you want to say something, just unmute yourself and talk, or you can put it on push to talk. There's a setting for push to talk where you can do push to talk also. But yeah, this is awesome. So very, very cool. So we're going to let some people come in and let Solo Wookie continue talking. I'm going to go let my dog out. Discord, we can hear you guys just fine. So just remember, mute yourself until you're ready to say something.
Isn't porn.
So anyway, good to have you guys here. Short story long, I'm very like OCD. I can live in a mess, but I'm very like meticulous about things. So my OCD is very, I don't know, it's hard to describe. Here's a perfect example. When I was a kid, I got my figures. So when I got the original figures and they had that little stub of lightsaber on the end, that little stub of plastic, it drove me nuts because it didn't look like a full saber. So as you know, and I remember doing it. I literally remember doing it. In my head, I see myself out of body experience doing, just cutting off thousands of dollars and getting, toenail clippers. And I literally cut the nubs on those pictures I sent you, Red Hood, on that Vader and on that Obi-Wan. You can see where there's just a little nub still left on there from that original, like that thin piece of plastic that stuck off. You can still see that little nub where I cut it off. How dumb am I as a child? Like, whatever. I played with them. I had fun.
Dude, none of us knew better.
Yeah, if I'd have known what I had then, do you think I'd ever even open the package?
I think we would have still opened it.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I'm missing my Jawas, my vinyl cape Jawas gone, my cloth Jawas gone. Of course, they were all loose and played with, but whatever. So I still got a bunch that I'm looking for that are somewhere, but I did find a bunch of my other stuff that I was looking for.
Ooh,
So that was
Dennis out there.
Oh yeah,
smiling. He's got a pretty blonde on his arm. Dennis doing way better than any of us right here. Holy cow! Got a drink in his hand. He's wearing a suit.
I'll be doing just as good in about 5 minutes.
Dennis said that he went to the MGM in Detroit, downtown Detroit, or something.
Yeah,
they have a casino in Detroit.
I guess so. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
is that safe, bro?
Well, if you're in Detroit, I mean, it's all guarded by the mob anyway, so you're pretty safe.
Oh, okay. I didn't know Detroit had a mob, dude.
Oh yeah.
They do? Okay.
Chicago, Detroit, New York.
I've heard of Chicago
Boston.
and New York, but I didn't know Detroit had made it there to have an established mob.
So all right, so let's get into this. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this, and let's see here. I see Brian's Comic Garage and Mac in the Discord. Thanks for hanging out with us, you guys. You guys are more than welcome to jump in anytime you guys want to say something. Hopefully you guys you guys can hear everybody okay. And if anybody wants to jump into the Discord, there is a link that I will put into the Discord chat to give you guys an invite. There we go. And I'll pin it to the top of the
I swear Josh is in every single Discord, man. It's like this guy collects everything.
Right. You gotta dip your toes.
There you guys go. I pinned the message up at the top. If you guys want to jump in, you're more than welcome. Chat with us. So all right, let's get back into this New Year's special. I want to say thank you to everybody that's hanging out. Anybody that wants to jump on the show, you're more than welcome to jump on the show. Any of our regular homies, you guys, anybody that's in the Beyond Wednesdays Google chat, there's a link. The latest link is dropped in there. And then anybody that's wants to jump in on the Discord and shoot the shit with us during the show, you can jump in. The link is there. All right, here we go. So basically what happened is Jevin Jordan has a character that he has that is a, what book is it a character in? Is it, it's in his
Dead End.
Yeah, Dead End, right? And it's this character, the Happy Face Man. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And he's a villain. He's a bad guy. He's a villain. Just like a ton of other books out there that have Nazis as villains. Nazis have been villains in comic books since day one, right? And anybody out there who says, yeah, well, that stopped during the war. No, it didn't. There's a major cover in almost every modern run that has a swastika on the cover. Swamp Thing, Superman, Shazam. Like, you guys can name tons of them. We'll look at them here in a second. There are a lot of them. And first of all, I think that if the bad guy has anything to do, if it's the bad guy, then that's normal. That's a normal thing. The famous saying, Captain America punches Nazis, right? That's a famous saying. So basically what happened is Jevin Jordan decided to put that character on a recent cover. He did an exclusive variant, and he put him in the background of this exclusive variant that he did. And here is the book. Let's see here. So let's do this. Here's the book right here. You guys can see, and here's the character in the background. It's a homage cover to the Eminem cover, basically. And if you guys know what the Eminem cover is, Eminem's on the stage here, Spider-Man's on the stage here, and all these Marvel characters in the background. Well, here's the mistake that I think was made in this, in my opinion. He shouldn't have put this character on the cover with a bunch of the Whatnot people at the same time. Like, if he would have chosen to put no Whatnot people on the cover. There's a bunch of Whatnot people on the cover. There's Gem Mint, Davis Ryder, Bolo, a couple other people. If he wouldn't have put them on the cover and just put characters in his comic series, just like the regular Eminem cover is, there would have been no problem with this, right? And this is just my opinion, you guys, and my opinion can be changed. That's why we're having this conversation. This is what I want to do. I want to have this conversation. I want to be able to have conversations like this in a constructive way. Let me drop the new link for everybody in the chat. Everybody is in the chat. Okay, new link's out there. So, if he wouldn't have done that, if he wouldn't have mishmashed characters from his book and Whatnot people, and here's why I say this. First of all, because as soon as he put Whatnot influencers on there, right, he opened himself up for criticism. Boom, just like that. Immediately, the Google eye is on that, right? The big Google eye is on that. People are looking for some reason to talk shit about this cover, because they see Bolo on there, or they see Gem Mint and Comic Tom on there, right? That's the truth of the matter. Whether it's right or wrong, however you want to look at it, that's your deal. But that's the truth of the matter. If that wasn't the case, nobody would even be saying anything about this, because there are so many other books with swastikas on the cover, right? Here's the other mistake he made. So that was mistake one, in my opinion. Second mistake is when he put this out, he shouldn't have changed it. He should have came out and said, hey guys, exactly this, what we're saying right now. Hey, you guys, this is a character in my comic. If you guys are reading my comic, you know he's a villain. I don't look at Nazis as good people. That's why I make them villains in my comic. Obviously, if you look at who I am or know who I am, you know I'm not going to be cool with racism and fascism and stuff like that. Fuck Nazis. He also comes from the music background, which, like most music, if you're in music nowadays, whether it's punk music, hip hop music, this and that, like it's been fuck Nazis for a long fucking time, So that's the other thing, in my opinion. Like it's instantly like that, and I think people just jumped on it. They said, okay, now we have something to go at, and it set it off, man. And it's the whole optics again of everything. He shouldn't have put it on there in the first place, but even if he did, he shouldn't have took it down, and he should have explained himself, and nothing would have happened. And then I think, of course, people kind of started talking about it on Instagram. Some people made very great comments. Some people didn't, I respect the hell out of Nick GQ. I like the way Nick GQ says and does a lot of things. He came out and he said something about it. He had Jovin's back, and he basically said the same thing I did. Like, hey, you shouldn't do it now. It's a mistake now. I think it's a big mistake now to even do the book, just because of all this bullshit. But if he wants to do it, then he shouldn't have to say sorry to anybody, in my opinion. Like, he wasn't doing this out of bad faith or bad character.
But
anyway.
My thing, Brian, is it's going to create a stir. Look at Kanye West. Look at what's his name from the New Jersey Nets, Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
They thought it was innocent. Like he dropped a link on a Netflix show about somebody saying something about anti-Semitism, and of course Kanye West is all over the place on what he believes. Like, I mean, he's just like out there.
Lost his mind.
But then those are two high-profile multi-millionaire that had Kanye. He was a billionaire and had the ultimate influencer, right? Man, they took away a lot of sponsorship and everything. So that ought to tell you, like, if you're asking yourself, should I put swastika on the comic book? Like, you already know the answer. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, the only reason you do that is to create some kind of stir like that. Because surely you cannot be oblivious. Say, man, I didn't even know it was going to be like that. Come on, man. That's been in the news the last 2 months.
Yeah, unless
first
if you
by
literally
Kyrie
don't,
and then Kanye West.
unless you literally don't listen to the news, like,
Right. And how can you not? Kyrie Irving. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer basketball player. Kanye West is probably the last 10 years, probably one of the most influential businessmen next to
yeah, but he's not influential because he's made smart business moves. He's influential.
The shoe deal with the Yeezys kind of put him over the top, did it not?
I don't know, man. I'll be honest, man. I look at everything that Kanye has done to give him hype in any other world outside of music because of his music. Like, I think Yeezys were fucking terrible looking shoes from the get-go. I think the majority of people thought they were terrible from the get-go, and the only reason that people started liking them is because it's Kanye, right? And same with all of his fashion stuff. It's because he had good friends that had smart things, like Virgil and all those people that he went out there with. Like, nothing that he's created, I think, is worthy of praise in the fashion world.
But
that's just me. But
okay, I'll give you that. But the backlash that both have received for anti-Semitism, right, and remarks, and much the same like this, you cannot tell me that you are what's the word I'm looking for, aloof. Like, oh, I didn't know that was going to be, and especially putting the whatnot people on there, like that have literally like created more of a stir than anything, like.
I agree. I don't think it was a great idea to put those people on the cover. And that,
I've never met Javon Jordan. Like, like me and Thorough we did a show, and Thorough and me and him were talking about one of his books, and we sold out his books just by talking about it and pumping it up. We sold it for him, right? And he gave us a shout out and stuff like that. But other than that, I don't know Javon Jordan that well, and you know, if he's collecting comic books, I'm cool with him, because that's what I do. Everybody gets he's never done anything to me. I'm just saying that putting a swastika on the book, in my opinion, is going to create a stir because of what's happened recently, and the fever pitch that everybody's at right now with that, because that's the latest thing to witch hunt about. Right?
Honestly, I have no clue what you're talking about with Kanye and Irving.
Oh my gosh!
I don't
Seriously?
listen. I'm dead serious. I don't pay attention to the news. I don't watch the news.
Well, Kanye basically said Hitler wasn't all that bad.
Dude,
if Kanye comes up, I don't really pay attention because fucking it's Kanye.
I gotta send you the link with that Kanye interview when he was on Alex Jones' show,
oh,
dude.
Good Lord, yeah.
And Irving, I mean, I don't really follow
basketball. Same thing.
I don't really, so I could see where if Illust is in my wheelhouse of I watch YouTube. I don't watch TV anymore. I don't even pay for cable. I don't have cable. I don't pay for satellite. I don't have satellite. I gave up TV years ago. I also don't eat fast food. Those are things that just I recognized years ago are not beneficial in my life. I pay a crap ton of money for absolutely no benefit whatsoever. Do I give a fuck who Brad Pitt is sleeping with? Nope. Not in the fucking least. I give two shits. I don't care about Hollywood and all of their boo 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 and their I don't fucking care. So if there was something that was brought up or happened or whatever, I could get where there would be some tension. I have met Illust. I don't think he had that intention in any way, shape, or form in the slightest. This dude doesn't. I sat with him at lunch with Brian and Kyle and Drew, and
it's a good dude.
Totally good dude. For
Family
him,
guy.
yeah, absolutely not the type of person that would come out and be malicious in any way, shape, or form. And do I think it was maybe a poor judgment to put it on with the Whatnot guys? Yes, but I wouldn't put the fucking Whatnot guys on my book anyway.
Yeah,
I wouldn't put them anywhere on any cover for any reason.
I'm pretty confident Javon knew about Kyrie Irving and Kanye West.
There's more than likely,
so that would have given him the kind of like baseline. Oh, okay, I shouldn't do that.
Sure, he is.
You know what I mean?
Well, more that's the way I see it than I.
That's the way I'm seeing it. Like Javon Jordan's never done anything to me. I have a bunch of his books that I've bought, some of his exclusives. Yeah. So I don't have anything personal again. You know, I poke fun at people, but like I don't have anything. I've never met Comic Tom or Gem Min or any of these guys, but I do know that they were complicit in their response to the acetate gate and everything that really perpetuated people's anger and response to the whole thing. Sure. And then so I'm just saying, like, and I don't want to say it was done on purpose, but that's kind of like what it felt like. Like, why else would you do it? Because
can I propose a thought that may change some views?
Absolutely, that's what we do.
Okay, so when I looked at the cover and I heard the controversy and stuff like that, now I am very well aware that my opinion is probably not the mass majority popular opinion. I believe censorship is fucking wrong. And I believe that if you're going to go down the road of censorship, especially with something like a swastika, you're doing exactly what that symbol was representation of. You're actually taking the controversy and enhancing it. You're going about it all wrong. Now, in that picture, you're looking at a group of people. Now, we know some of those people because, they are on the YouTube and they're either influencers or talking about comics and stuff. We know about these people. Do we know these people? 90% of us have no idea. We know them, but we don't know them. We don't hang out with them. We don't go and have a beer and talk shop with them. So you look at this crowd. You never know in a crowd who the bad guy is, but I promise you there is a bad guy in every crowd. I know who the bad guy is in this crowd.
Yeah.
Who's that?
The guy with the Nazi symbol.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? There's a secret bad guy in every crowd, and this is a very decent representation of every crowd in America today. There's a bunch of people in there that are good, bad, worse, ugly, beautiful, whatever. You can tell who the bad guy is in this crowd, can't you? It's pretty fucking clear to me.
If Illis didn't have any of that background and would have had a different kind of background, I think this book would have been a hit. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't even need to do any of the Whatnot guys or anything. He could have just done a regular crowd. And just the way his character is of himself, it's cool as shit. You know what I mean? So that's my take on it.
I think the problem is that he just didn't think.
That's
really all there. That's all there really was to it. He just didn't think.
Well, and he thought about advertisement and promotion of a character that he created that he's proud of. Not because that person has swastikas, but because that's a bad guy. He created an ultimate bad guy.
I agree with you, Solo Wookie. I'm just saying, and I know you don't watch like the current news and stuff like that, and you don't follow those guys. But like everybody else on Twitter, how you pull up Twitter and Kanye's trending? Well, okay, why is he trending? Because he said this shit and that shit. And then Kyrie Irving, trending. I mean, the number one trending when Kyrie Irving. So that's why. You know what I mean? I think Josh totally hit the nail on the head. He probably didn't think. You guys met him. It seems to me like a cool guy. And you met him, and that reaffirms it. So that's my stance on that. I don't want to talk about it because then it looks like I'm talking shit about him.
No, I don't. Please, I know in no way, shape, or form think that you are even remotely talking shit about him in any way. I'm just trying to propose a different outlook because I feel like a lot of the community is I don't want to say out with pitchforks and torches because that's not what they're doing, but they're trying to discuss it. They're trying to digest the situation and discuss it. And I don't think a lot of people have looked at it with, open eyes. I don't think a lot of people have tried to look at it like, okay, here I'm a comic book creator and I'm one hell of an artist. And, I'm proud of the characters that I have made, good, bad, and indifferent. And, here's a cover. I'm going to put my good guys in here. I'm going to put my bad guys in here. I'm going to put this guy in there. I'm going to put that guy in there. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that, and it definitely was maybe partial error on his part for not sitting down and maybe analyzing it a little bit more. I think he was just excited to build a badass cover. And he's like, hey, here's one of my bad guys. And how do I say this? When you're not racist or you're not, homophobic and you're not like, you don't look at things with ill intent, you almost kind of become a little bit ignorant to it. So he probably, put his character in there thinking, oh, my character's in there, not because he was trying to do ill intent, but because he's like not looking through that colored lens.
Yeah. Well, I see a lot of people talking about basically, what we were saying with I think their thing that they're most angry about was the fact that he changed it so quick. Like if I read, like Comic Tom was one of the first people I started just seeing people just dogpile on.
Sure.
And somebody put on Comic Tom's thing, I can't support this or anyone that thinks it's cool to put racist symbols. Where did that go? Damn it.
But go back up. It was right there. Wasn't it? That first comment. Yeah.
No. I can't support anyone or I can't support this or anyone that thinks it's cool to put racist symbols in their art and then quickly remove it when they get called out. Shame on you for supporting this unoriginal trash. And you know, again, the key point on this, and then quickly remove it when they got called out. So here is what I want to say about that. Is it bad when to try and do what your public wants, what your fans want you to do, or is it worse to not stand with your original idea? You know what I mean? Like if all your fans are coming at you and being like, "Hey man, I really think you should change that,"
Sure.
should he not have changed it?
I would say it's hard. I always try and look outside the box. Did someone personally send him a message and say, "Hey, you know what? I am of Jewish faith and I found this a little discolored. Could you please maybe change it to just X's?" I don't have that information. With the information that I do have, I would have stood behind the whole cover the way it was, swastikas and all, and I would have said, "Look, I'm proud that I made a bad guy. You can discern that this is a bad guy in a crowd. The other people in here, a crowd is a crowd. Just because he's in the crowd doesn't make everyone in the crowd bad. It just absolutely depicts there's a bad guy." Okay, let me put it another way as well. If the bad guy had a Klan hood on, would it be just as offensive? I think it would, but would you hear more outcry? I don't know. The fact is, it's just a depiction of a bad guy. Everyone's so soft.
Yeah, Illis Illuminati, Jalvin Jordan responded to a Gem Mint post where he said, "It's a villain from a comic book I wrote about a war veteran that battles a Nazi. There's a ton of comic books that use Nazis for villains, especially war-themed book villains like Frank Miller's Batman, Dark Knight Returns. Bruno has them tattooed on her breast and butt. It has been on several Hellboy covers. Also, the first appearance of Winter Soldier, and not using these as examples as an excuse, just facts. I decided to edit it because the last thing I want to do is offend. I write and draw for fun and not for controversy." And I respect that. If that's true, and he had people come to him and said, "Hey, I'm offended by it," I respect that. He says, "I definitely understand why some people are feeling a certain way, and I am man enough to own that I could have been more considerate and understanding that not everyone will know the villains from my books. Trust me, I am all about peace. Being a black man, I have faced more racism." So he is African American. Being a black man, I have faced more racism than I care to talk about, and I didn't do this to cover to be malicious or hateful. I just wanted villains from the books I wrote in the cover, plotting in the background. So I apologize to anyone that was offended. What do you guys think about that? Josh, what do you think about all this?
Like I said, I mean, I think he didn't think, and it's not because, like, I'm reading some of the comments and people are saying that people are pussies and stuff like that, and it's not any of that. That's not what it is. It's context. Okay, I understand that you can look at that crowd and say, here's the bad guy, but I don't know of any other covers where someone wearing swastikas is just portrayed like at a show, like, you know, obviously enjoying himself while everyone else is enjoying themselves. Like, I mean, maybe there are some covers out there like that I just don't know of. But I think it's just bad context. Like, I understand that that's a bad guy, and Nazis are bad and villains are bad, but no one, I don't think anyone at that party would be standing next to someone with a bag on their head with swastikas on it. Like it's just bad. Like it just looks bad.
Yeah.
Like I understand he didn't do that to offend anybody. I've had many conversations with Illist. I've never met him, but I've had many conversations. I met him by
a bunch
do
of his
what?
books, right? You were part
Yeah,
of a bunch of his
I backed a bunch of his Sav Kickstarters back in the day before anyone even knew who he was. And he's a great guy. We've messaged each other and talked, and I've asked him about his family, and like we talked when he moved out to Arizona and stuff like that. And that's not who he is. I just think he could have not did it. Like I understand that it's his character, but he could have put it in a different light, I guess. I don't, when he brings up like the Winter Soldier cover, it's like that's apples and oranges. Like Marvel and the Red Skull and Winter Soldier, like the Red Skull and that have been part of like the Nazi party since the Red Skull was created. And that's like the backstory between Captain America and Bucky and all of them. Like it has to do
So
with history.
Is it not okay to have a new character be a bad guy Nazi?
No, I think you should be able to do that, but putting that character on a cover, like I
Where
said,
people
hang
are
it up so
enjoying
everyone's all
themselves
like
and
smiling and enjoying themselves, like that's not what would actually happen in real life, I hope.
By the way,
Except in
guys,
certain places.
I want it to be very, very clear. I want to talk about this and I want to ask people's point of view because this type of conversation is important. People can change their minds based on what they hear and hearing whatever the people think. And, it helps so much more to have a conversation like this. And I have more respect for somebody that is willing to change their mind than anybody that's just going to be like, nope, that's how I am, and a law is a law, and this and that. There's nothing that in this world that's black and white. Nothing. The only thing that's black and white in this world is time. That is it. I mean, the time keeps going, and you can't get it back. That's the only thing that's black and white in this world. Other than that, everything is in the gray area for some point, for something. And I think the conversation is the important thing. So anybody that ever comes on this show, if you have a different point of view, that's okay. I'm okay with that. And don't ever feel, I'm not saying that anybody here is, I'm just talking to people in the crowd and the people that might come on the show in the future. If you have a different point of view, I'm okay with that. That's important. I want to hear different points of view. I want that. I want to have good conversation about it. But again, it's always constructive. It's always that type of stuff. The Lord of Brooklyn says a question: what did the apology get Jordan? That's the problem, man. I think the apology got him nothing. I don't know. I mean, that's why I'm also asking. But as of right now, I think it got him nothing. I think it just got him. It got him more. Maybe got him more hate because they said, "Well, why don't you just leave it? If it's a party, if it's a character in your book that you feel." Okay to have this character in your book, just leave it. But I also understand like him going, hey, a lot of people reached out to me and just didn't want it. And I appreciate my fans and I appreciate the people that read my stuff. So
I get that too. I mean, when you're
yeah.
creator, you're a product or maker, or you know what I mean? Like when your fans are your basis, like without your fans and without your group, you go out of business. So I completely understand him saying, you know what, I made a mistake, my bad, I'll change it. Apparently the mass majority would prefer that it wasn't that way. And I understand that, and I'm sorry if I offended anyone. I think he could have came out and just been like, fuck you, you're all wrong, I'm right, get fucked, I don't care. You know what I mean? And that's not the way to handle it.
Yeah.
So, at least the apology was forthcoming and like, hey, you know what? I made a mistake. I'm sorry. I didn't think about it. No big deal. Me personally, I'd have still left it, but I'm a dick. And he's a smart businessman. I'm not. I'm a terrible businessman.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
You got to be smart about that stuff, and no one's trying to explain away people's rights either. I'm just reading comments in the chat. Like, he has every right to put that on that cover. Like, if he wanted to keep it there, he could have kept it there, but then he also gets to suffer the consequences that follow with doing that. So, I mean, that's up for him to ultimately decide, you know?
Yeah.
Well, and I'm also one of those people. I'm a firm believer. If you don't like it, cool, scroll on, move on. Don't look at it. Don't buy it. Don't get involved with it. If you don't like it, you have the personal choice to change yourself. Guess what? You can't change everybody else in the world. Let them be them. You can be you. It's okay if you don't like it. You don't have to like everything. It's okay. That's what makes us great, is that we're all different. That's what is so awesome. We're all different. You know, if you don't like it, cool, don't fucking look at it.
Yeah.
That's simple.
Here's another great question, another great point. Dave's Collection, shout out Dave's Collection, says my art, my rights. That's another big thing. Like, art through especially the last 200 years has been very like in your face, like show these shock things, and make you think something. And ultimately, comic books are still art, you guys. Like, especially to these creators, like, it's their form of expression. And that's the other thing. Like, how many times do we see like these shock art exhibits where it's somebody pissing on a statue of Christ constantly, and all these other crazy things, and just I don't know, man. I feel like the outrage is very unfounded right now. I feel like it's just so weird. And I really think, and I hate to say it and change my mind on this, I really think it's because the whatnot people were put on there. It opened it up.
Yeah.
It opened it up to a lot of hate and a lot of anger. So
I agree. Well,
and on top of comics being art, you can't forget that comics are political. People that say comics aren't political don't know what they're talking about. Comics have been political since the day they've been written. Like, that is what it is, and I understand that, and that's why I'm okay with things like that being included. It's just, I think the representation of that cover was wrong for what he wanted to include.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, and I feel like one of the I'm not afraid of a lot in life because I've done a lot of stupid stuff and lived through a lot of crazy shit that I shouldn't have lived through. One of the things that scares me to death, absolute death, 100% transparent, honest right now, is censorship. Because even if I don't like it, I don't tell people, hey, go censor that because I don't like it. Because 2 days after I say, hey, I don't like that, go censor that, they come back 2 days later and they go, hey, we're going to censor this. And it's like, well, you can't, don't censor that. I love that. Why would you censor that? And they're like, because it offends him. And it's a really hard, slippery slope. Not that this book got censored or that anything else, but you start getting into that slippery slope of censorship. And I think that it scares me to death, because as soon as you take away one person's right of self-expression, then you take away your own rights of self-expression, and that scares me. I don't like that at all.
Decor says, look, Jalvin is a good dude. Sure, that's not the question. Did anything on this cover have what anyone would consider good optics? No, definitely not. From the eyes to the whatnot people or homage choice. I think that if he did not put the whatnot people on there and made it all just characters from his books, there would be no problem in this. If they were all characters from his different comic world, and again, nobody from Whatnot, or even nobody from the real world, like, it would have been totally fine. As a matter of fact, I'll even go out there and say, I think that if he put other people on there, just not Whatnot people, the hate is in the vitriol is so strong for people right now in that Whatnot influencer group, that they've been put in by, for whatever reason. It's so strong that to me is pushing this whole thing. That's the optics. If Bolo or Tom or Jim Mint or who else is in there, Davis Ryder, if any of those guys were not in that comic, there would be no problem, I don't think. So
yeah, see, that would be
I think you're right.
interesting. It would have been interesting if he would have did that first and just did that to see what people's reactions would have been. Because I know from the chats that I'm in, those were the first things that people were pointing out were, oh look, it's Tom. Oh look, it's Bolo. Oh look, it's Gem Mint. And I started looking at the cover, and obviously, those came to me first because people were pointing them out. But then I saw, the dude with the bag over his head, and I didn't, I've read the Sav, I didn't read Dead End, so I had no idea, and I was just like, yikes, like, what the fuck is this? So it would have been interesting.
Lord of Brooklyn says Jordan's apology made things worse. How do you think his apology made things worse? That's a serious question. I would like to know that, because I think the apology that he wrote on Gem Mint's page was very good, and I'll bring it up again so everybody can see it. This is his apology on Gem Mint's on the post that Gem Mint had put up, and I'll read it again. He said, "It's a villain from a comic book I wrote about a war veteran that battles a Nazi. There is a ton of comic books that use Nazis for villains, especially war-themed books like villains, like Frank Miller's Batman, Bruno, who has them tattooed on her breasts and butt. It has been on several Hellboy covers and also the first appearance of the Winter Soldier. I'm not using these examples as an excuse. Those are just facts. I decided to edit it because the last thing I want to do is offend who I write and draw for, not for controversy. I definitely understand why some people are feeling certain way, and I am man enough to own that I could have been more considerate and understanding that not everyone will know the villains from my books. Trust me, I am all about peace. Being a black man, I have faced more racism than I care to talk about, and I didn't do this cover to be malicious or hateful. I just wanted villains from books I wrote in the cover plotting in the background, so I apologize." I think that apology is great because he said exactly why he did it. It's right there. He just wanted some of his villains to be there in the background looking like they're plotting. Okay, so boom, he said why he did it. He said he took it down because people reached out to him that are his fans, and he respects his fans' decisions, and he didn't want to offend anybody. I respect that. Like, I don't see anything wrong with his apology.
That's just people talking, because Lord of Brooklyn said, look at the comments after the apology, and but that's just people talking, though. Look, at the end of the day, this is he runs a business. Everyone that's saying that he shouldn't have apologized, do you own a business? Like, this dude makes his living by making art, and as much as people hate, as much as people want to say it's censoring it, I don't think that it's necessarily censorship. He just realized that it's bad optics, and he needs to keep making money to provide for his family. Like, if you make enough people mad by just saying, "Oh, fuck it, I'm going to do this anyways," and sadly, that's the way of the world. Everything revolves around money. Like, he's got to make a legit call to keep people happy. I mean, sadly, it is that way.
I got two new questions. Am I confused? Did the Whatnot guys know that they were going to be on the cover before it got done? And did they get pre-approval? Did they see it beforehand? Anything like that? Did they okay it? And 2, was this supposed to be like a Whatnot exclusive sale book? Or nobody knows? Nobody, we don't.
Yeah, okay. I don't know the answer to either of those. I mean, I know it doesn't seem that any of those people from Whatnot were upset that they were on the cover. Like they were all posting, you know, the original cover, like, "Oh, thanks for putting me on the cover," you know.
Sure.
So I mean,
so none of them really seem to have an issue with it. Like, oh my gosh, there's swastikas on the cover that I'm on.
No, because if you would have read Jim Mint's comments, man, he needs a PR person, dude. Because he was like,
"Where can I buy these?" Did he take them down?
He was like telling people that they were crybabies because people were complaining about the Nazi symbols, and I was like,
Ooh.
dude, you need a PR guy. Like you are.
Where did he say those? Do you know? I wonder if he took them down.
I think it was on one of his posts about that book, and I was just like, bro, you're bad, man. You need a PR person.
Yeah, that's.
Wait, did you just call him Batman?
Yeah, you're Batman.
You're Batman. I just wondered because I hadn't thought about that before, and I thought, oh, geez, that could change a few things. But from everything I saw and read, none of them really, and not that I went perusing or deep diving. Please don't assume that I'm saying I deep dove into everybody's IG account to find out what they thought. But it just kind of dawned on me, like, did they know, or did they okay it, or did they? Because I mean, if I kind of feel like if they didn't have an epiphany with it or a problem or anything, then I don't know, let it ride. You know what I mean? Just kind of like I get the whole displacement of poor taste and everything, but I don't know. Like again, I'm a really bad business guy. Don't listen to me or take my business.
That's what I'm saying. Like he has every right to, he had every right to just say, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna do this. But at the end of the day, that's his job. Like, and as much as people hate that sways people, I mean, it's money, dude. Money, unfortunately, sways everyone because we all gotta live, dude. We all gotta eat. I mean, unless if you're a billionaire and you can stand by every moral that you have, or you don't care if you live in a cardboard box.
Yeah. No, it's.
Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting.
Like I said, I've met Illust one time. I've talked to him IG type stuff, but one of the downest, coolest, laid back cats I've ever met, man. And in my eyes, still an outstanding human being and always will be. I don't.
Yeah, I have no issues
give a shit what people say.
If anybody wants to jump on, there is the link. You guys are more than welcome to jump on and hang out with us and tell us what you think. Just if you do jump on, just do me a favor and if you don't have a camera, just keep your camera muted if you want, but just jump on and try to have your mic be in an area where there's not a lot of background noise. But I would like to hear from anybody out there. I see Bronze Asian Nerd in the chat. I see Remo in the chat. I see Decor in the chat. Dave's Collection. Anybody that wants to jump on and chat about this. This is stuff I want to talk about. We also got other stuff to talk about. We still haven't gotten into the Frankie's Comics thing. We haven't gotten into some of our favorite things this year. And more than anything, I want to talk about what's coming next year. So. Yeah, we got to figure that shit out.
Yeah, let's talk about Frankie's.
Didn't the Aztec calendar said that it's going to end, right? 2022, that's the end.
Dude, I thought that was 2021 or 2019.
No. It was like 2012. But if we continue, and then it was 2013 and then 2014. Every year, the Aztec calendar said this is the end. There is no 2023.
Yeah, I hope not, man. I really hope not. All right, so let's take a look at people's comments. Decor says, No, they didn't have an issue with being on the cover, but he 100% had problems with people asking questions about it. He definitely digging in his own grave with the way he acts. How is he acting bad though? I don't see him acting bad. If he's talking about Javin, I think Javin Jordan has acted very, very respectful, and he's been nice about it. He's explained exactly, what.
I think he meant Jim, man.
Oh, okay, if he meant Jim,
I don't think he meant Javin. I had to read that twice too.
Got you.
He
says the kicker is that Jim says he's Jewish and called people crybabies for speaking their minds against the eyes. Yeah, I don't know, man. Even if you're Jewish and you have that point of view, I don't, that's your point of view. It is what it is, man. Like that's the thing. That's the other thing. Like you're free to spend the money the way you want, just like people are free to sell the stuff they want. Again, this is art. This is art. We show crazy comics every day, every week on different shows, and a lot of people collect those crazy comics. I mean, dude, I got a comic of a fucking guy eating a baby, and people are fucking all crazy over it. You know what I mean? Like, there are crazy things out there. So, it's.
I collect horror comics, so it's
exactly.
there's some wild shit out there.
Yeah. Nate, how you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. How's your dog doing with the fireworks?
Oh, she's by my feet going.
I figured. Yeah.
So
I was just watching the college football, man. It was nuts today.
I feel bad about you having to watch. Did Tennessee lose? I think Tennessee lost or won.
No, they won. They handled Clemson pretty well. Yeah.
Okay.
OSU just lost by 1.
Oh wow! So it's gonna be Michigan, Georgia, or TCU, Georgia.
Yeah.
Stetson Bennett came back and threw a touchdown pass with basically a minute left, and then OSU came down and missed. The kicker, I mean, he's been solid all year. I think he only missed two field goals all year, and then he just hooked the shit out of it.
Yeah.
It was about 52-yard attempt, and it wasn't even close. So Georgia and TCU.
Nice. All right. The pinned message on the YouTube thing is the StreamYard. If any of you guys want to come hang out, we're just going to hang out for as long as we can, and got people jumping in and jumping out. I don't know. I think it's a very interesting conversation, and I like talking about it and hearing what people have to say about it. And again, the way we talk about it and the way we handle it is very important. And I want to hear your guys' points of view. Let me read some of these chats. Shout out to Jersey to the Bay that says, just want to thank Brian and everyone on the panel tonight for making some amazing content this past year. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too, brother. Shout out to, we've got 90 live right now. I see our boy Shane in there. I see Joseph P. Of course, Miss Horsecock's in there. DT, Manny. We already talked about Dave and Dave's collection. Make sure you guys are following Dave's collection on IG. Dude's an OG, really, really good dude. And I love his content that he does. He makes amazing content. Keep doing it. I love seeing all your stuff about the city and how you collect and everything, man. It's good stuff. So shout out to everybody else I see in here. 2023 is going to be an interesting year, and we're going to start it off in a good way. And just, YouTube just recently had some new rules. Let me read this to you guys. This is very interesting. Another reason why we're changing to members only content coming up here. Next week I'll have it available. First Saturday show, we'll have the new members tiers available for you guys to join. But they have some new rules, which aren't very good. And let me find these here. They have new policies when it comes to cussing, which isn't very good. Basically saying that if you cuss within like the first 15 seconds of any live thing, they're going to strike. I don't know if they're going to strike you or if they're going to demonetize you. So we're gonna pull this up here. So that would be
Feels like they really want to hit you. They take your money first.
Yeah. So no swear policy is what they're calling it. No swear policy. And this is silly. This is absolutely silly. Like we put on our, first of all, I put all of my videos into something that says not for kids, right? It says not for kids. And I do that because I want to cuss. That's how I talk. That's how I've always talked. That's how my family has always talked. It's how I grew up. It's just fucking words to me. And you know, I abide by those rules. And when I do that, I instantly get hit. Like I'm not. My video will not get 80% of the ad revenue that a video would get if it didn't say that it wasn't for kids. You know what I mean? You totally get just nailed in that. And the new policy is saying that you can't and they're also talking about how you can't let me just bring it up here.
I think DT nailed it. There goes Mel. And now Lords of Brooklyn. Mel V has got to be on a 10-minute delay.
The policy is if you say any swear word or anything less than proper in the first 8 seconds of a video, you instantly get demonetized for it, no matter what. There is no wiggle room. If you say anything that's not squeaky clean weenie humor, oh no, sorry. He says if you say anything that's not squeaky clean weenie hut junior, you let that rip in the first 8 to 15 seconds of that video. You're just getting blasted.
Dude, Weenie Hut Jr., SpongeBob.
Yeah. Wow, man. That is not good.
Well, the first 8 seconds, that's like you could just make your intro video longer than 8 seconds, right? And then you're good? Or
well, no, like you in the first 8, like you know how I started the video today and I said the F word within the first 3 seconds? Like
well, yeah. Oh, okay, I get it.
When does this take effect?
We gotta go 9 seconds or 8 seconds.
I'm trying to find out when it takes effect.
I was gonna say this didn't like actually hit like New Year.
No, I think it's already taken effect. I think
that's
people
like half an hour, like 32 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Look at YouTube taking away my rights.
Just like I said, censor one guy, and all of a sudden they're censoring everybody. Here
YouTube
it comes.
change.
By the way, Josh, you look very comfortable.
Dude, it's so comfy. It's like a big. It's called an Oodie. It's called an Oodie. It's like a big. It's like a 10XL like hoodie. That's like super comfy. It's got a hood. Got a hood on this thing.
Is it hoodie weather in Arizona yet, Brian?
Oh, bro, it is hoodie weather. It's 60 degrees during the day. It is wonderful, my friend.
Yeah, that's nice. That's like shorts and a hoodie.
Josh he looks huggable, doesn't he? You just want to give him a hug. Like, dude, it's Josh. Hi, Josh. So snuggly.
I'm starting to get hot in this thing.
I was going to say that is kind of warm.
What's the temperature outside?
Here?
Yeah, where you are.
Oh God, it's warmed up a lot. Last week we were like in the negatives all week. It is. Let's see, what is it right now? It is 37. Feels like 30. So that's actually warm because last week it was like negative 30.
The problem with YouTube is everything's so cryptic, dude. Like it's so hard to find information on this stuff and like see exactly what the rules are and stuff like that. And yeah, it's totally so annoying.
Ambiguous, or it's not like black and white. Like here are the bullet points. You can't do this, that.
They'll strike you for stuff, and then they'll say they'll be like you got striked for this, breaking this rule, but we're not going to tell you when you did it in the video and what you said to do it.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So let's take a look here.
That's fair.
All right. And it's just as
I
bad.
think
Like
I dated
you can't.
this YouTube you speak of. I think I dated that. You messed up. What'd I do? I'm not going to tell you.
But you
If
know
you don't,
did
if you don't know, I'm not going to tell you. Oh, all right,
it. But don't do it again.
but don't ever do it again.
But like what I was saying though is like you're gonna have an intro video. So like as long as your intro video is longer than 8 seconds, as soon as that intro video is done, you should be able to just say whatever the hell you want.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, shucky, gosh darn it all to heck. Someone, we got a negative Nelly over in Sector 11. Time for some reading education.
Department of Karen.
That's ridiculous. So, yeah, we'll be dealing with that. Let's see here. Vulgar language policy. What this means? Explicit content that violates this policy. Okay. Some language may not be appropriate. Obviously, that's it. What happens if content? Okay, this policy. Let's see here. Use of sexually explicit language or narratives, use of excessive profanity or in the content, use of heavy profanity or sexually suggestive terms in the content's title, thumbnail, or associate metadata, use of excessive sexual sounds. There you go. That's
What
pretty
wrote this statement.
Jesus.
I'm just gonna start doing that every once in a while.
Yeah. You'll get me fucking flagged, bro. You think I'm joking? Fuck that, bro. I don't want to get flagged.
Right there. There's the
There's got to be a bird. There's got to be a bird that makes that noise out there somewhere.
Yeah, that's
Like
gonna be
peacock?
one of our things. Yeah. Lewis says Brian feels like the God of Thunder is in my neighborhood. Fireworks will be flowing. Yeah, I'm with you, Lewis. My dog is just shaking like a leaf underneath me, and they just keep on popping off. I hate fireworks. By the way, let's just say this again. For anybody out there that is watching this on the replay because you were lighting off a bunch of fireworks in your neighborhood, fuck you. Fireworks are gay. They're gay. They're not cool. Don't do them. They're not cool. Don't fuck with fireworks. They scare people's dogs. That's
I
shame.
like if you play for the Giants, if you're a defensive lineman and you lose a couple fingers and get traded to the Bucs.
Yeah, it'd be like Jason Pierre-Paul.
I love fireworks. We should all blow up everything we can, but do it in a respectful manner. Go out in a field where you have access in a private area. There's not a crap ton of residents.
That's what I'm saying. If you're in a neighborhood, you suck.
And blow up whatever you want. I don't care, but like make friends with a farmer with a big empty field and just go make giant divots in it. I don't care. America. Like that's what we do. We blow shit up. So go do it, but go be respectful about it. I don't need mortars in my front yard. And not just dogs. My brother is not a fan after 4 tours in the Middle East of fireworks.
He was calling the fireworks happy, okay? Happy fireworks.
Yeah. Friendly fire is also a term that the military and ex-military are very familiar with, and they don't like that either. So just go blow stuff up. I encourage you to. Just be respectful about it. We can all get along.
Yeah. Oh, look at here. Here's Mr. James Hive Boys hanging out. What's up, brother? Can't hear you. Your shit's all fucked up. Yeah, your shit's all fucked up, bro. He's probably one of those people that hates fireworks too. I know James can't stand them, so he agrees with me. But all right, let's talk about another controversial thing that happened. You guys see Frankie's Comics filing for bankruptcy.
Give me some more lowdown on this hoedown. I had just heard that today. I don't know the scoop. I'm sad to hear it. I'll tell you that. I don't like to hear any of them going out of business. Any LCS or company.
Still can't hear you, bro.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, now we can hear you. Nice.
I had like 8 apps running my microphone all at the same time, apparently.
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great. I just wanted to wish the community a happy New Year's. And Brian, I want to wish you the most successful 2023. I know you've got some amazing changes for the channel. They're going to benefit the community and benefit all of us that are that help out and that jump on and provide content. So I'm really excited for this next year.
Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. I appreciate you. You know that. I think it's going to be fun. We're going to
love you guys. You guys are amazing.
Yeah. Hell yeah, brother.
Bye.
Have fun, man.
Yeah.
Shout out
Happy New
to Sean McCurdy, who dropped the $20.23. It says, Happy New Year, fellas. And everyone else, stay safe. Love y'all. Hell yeah, brother. That's what I'm talking about. That's why, you know, like I'm stoked. I'm glad people can just jump in and say hello. And what do you got going on out there, James? Looks like you're having a good time.
Yeah, hanging out in Charleston. Family friend came in to hang out. There she is.
Nice.
What?
That's my wife.
That's funny.
That's my wife.
That's my wife.
Yeah. No, we came into Columbia. Obviously, we moved here like 4 months ago. Don't know any good spots to go to. We struggled the first like 2 hours. Struggled to find a good spot to hang out. Went from a piano bar full of old people to a like a high school bar. It pretty much seemed like, where it was like to like 21-year-olds, and then we ended at this great bourbon bar. And it's fantastic, super mellow, low key. So we're getting ready to call it a night and head home and drink some champagne and wine. But just want to hop and say thank you to the community for, you know, everything you guys have done for us this last year. And thank you to all you guys. You guys have been amazing. I'm looking forward to 2023 and what we can all do together. So.
Hell yeah, brother.
That piano bar sounds right up my alley.
What's that?
Dude.
That piano bar sounds right up my alley.
Cool, man. It was honestly, it was cool, but like the crowd. Okay, so the service was so slow that nobody was getting drunk. So nobody was singing to the songs except for us. Like nobody was singing along to the songs. Nobody was really getting like into it.
You're ridiculous.
Yeah. Right? So it just kind of got like, I don't know. It got boring because nobody was really into it. It was kind of sad.
Too many slow breathers.
Hey, us old people are kind of boring, all right? We're fun when we want to be.
And they're having fun. They didn't need to be drunk to have fun. But I think once you hit 60, your body automatically starts producing alcohol 24/7. I think it's like or it's just heavily medicated. I'm not sure, but it's the rest of us, like nobody's getting into this. So. All right. Love you guys. I'll see you guys.
All right. Love you too, brother.
Love you.
Talk to you later, bro.
Bye.
All right. So Frankie's Comics has filed for bankruptcy. I got it's so crazy that people can just grab this information so quickly, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like chapter 11. Yeah, Chapter 11 bankruptcy says list of creditors who have had the 20 largest unsecured claims. So it says how much money he owes to people. You know, managing agent for Clearco, $58,000. Diamond, he owes $6,000. EBF Holdings, $58,000. $40,000 to his bank. Forward Financing, $91,000. Fox Business, $53,000. GTS Distribution, $2,000. $15,000 to the IRS.
That should be the first note right there. The IRS is at $15,000.
Yeah, man, because they're gonna take their shit first things first, right? Man, I mean, it just keeps going, dude. Ouch. PayPal, he owes 40. PayPal, 47,000. PayPal for 39,000. PayPal 48,000. He owes a shit ton to PayPal.
Yeah, it's like 130 some thousand just to PayPal.
200,000 to Penguin Random House.
Yeah.
Someone's been ordering way too many copies of Catwoman
and just somehow not paying for them.
At what point?
Ratios.
At what point does Penguin Random House go, hey, maybe we stop sending this guy some books? Like, I feel like,
well, you know,
I feel like when you're at that point, you can absorb some of that yourself, Penguin Random House, you jackasses.
It's
like, cut them
here's
off.
a $275,000 IOU for a Lamborghini. That's good cash.
Hey, I have a question.
Diamond, you used to have to pay in cash.
Those IOUs in that briefcase were good for it.
You had to pay with a cashier's check, or you had to pay with like a check every Wednesday with the book. So, I mean, that's an incredible amount of money.
Paul Holloway, it's like right below $1 million, but it could be more.
942,000.
Because these are just, what was it? This is just a list of like
Is that the top 20?
The uncredited.
Yeah. He owes Ivan Tao $6,000.
Yeah, which is shitty.
Yeah, that's a good point, because like the artist, or if you owe money to like customers, since this would be unsecured debt.
Yes,
that wouldn't show up
unsecured,
because you'd have the payables on one side, so that could be something separate. So like what you owe the artist for a certain ratio covers.
So Kevin Fields, who is the owner and runs Frankie's Comics, said, put out a statement saying, "Good morning. We had a member post about Frankie's Comics bankruptcy. I suspended the comments so I could post a response that all can see. Our sales over the last 18 months have not been good. Our revenue was lower than our required debt payments. After reviewing all the options, we elected to enter Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Obviously, this decision was not made lightly. Just like General Motors, Hertz, Chrysler, or Marvel, we are under the protection of the bankruptcy court. Chapter 11 allows time to restructure our debt and stay in business. We are not liquidating. Your orders are safe. Our customer service team is still responding, and orders will continue to be filed. Please comment below if you have any questions, and remember to be nice." And they asked them a bunch of questions. Why is Terry Hoekness part of this? Is Terry Hoekness an owner in Frankie's Comics?
So I don't know the whole story, but they were in some kind of business relationship, but apparently they cut ties years ago. But Frankie's Comics, it's listed as they're doing business as Hoekness USA. So I don't know. Apparently he said he's fine, but I don't know if that would affect him or not.
It could be one of, and I'm just totally speculating, but if you see like that line to like, was it First Citizens Bank or something along those lines? Like if that person left the business and he took a loan out to actually pay off the business partner, if it was some kind of proprietorship or partnership. He's using that to pay that person back because it's unsecured or so secured, depending on how the loan is structured, whether or not that person would actually get the debt back or get the payoff.
Darth Lopez in the house. How you doing, brother?
What's up, bro? Can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear.
My respects to you and Solo Wookie. Solo Wookie, we go way back.
Yeah, what's up, Daddy-O? Good to see you.
What's up, brother?
I caught you a little bit earlier, giving Marco mad shit, man. I was loving it, bro.
Yeah. I just want to say, look, real quick. First, shout outs to BK and Manny. Here's my thing with Jim Mint and Comic Tom. I don't, YouTube, you learn new language. And this culture vulture type scenario, that's what rubs me the wrong way about Comic Tom and Jim Mint. Now, we're all from where we're from. We're all tattooed up. We're all gangster. We're all this. We're all that. But I just feel that what they are and what they try to be doesn't fit what they really are or what they really do. Right? That variant, that Eminem variant that was done by who it was done. And so then you got Jim Mint coming out and doing it. So what that tells me is you're just taking advantage of the people who follow you, who like your content, and you're just cashing out on them. You know what I mean?
Do you let me ask you something. What do you think is the main thing that has rubbed everybody the wrong way about them? What is it, the thing that made them, that makes you really see them as a cultural vulture, as you say? Like, was there one thing that they did, or has it just been multiple things?
Look, dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. If I can name other people, Jim Comics, Comic Town 101, and Pete Renna. Those are the top 3 people I started watching a while back on YouTube. But there was always something about Comic Tom where he just felt fake, bro. He's using language that doesn't fit him. Be who you are. You know what I mean? That's what's going to separate you from everybody else. Be who you are. And it just always felt like he wasn't who he really was. And it always rubbed me the wrong way. I'm from where I'm from. You know, I don't live in Los Angeles anymore. I moved away from California. I'm out in the Midwest now. And it always felt like, damn, dude, like, are you a hipster? Are you this? You're using lingo that doesn't fit your style? Like your last name is Garcia. Okay, so you're Latino, but you don't sound Latino. But I got homeboys that grew up that don't sound Latino, but like I couldn't pinpoint who he was. And out here in Chicago, you know, I knew people that knew him or saw him or knew of him and how he went through the boxes, and then it comes up on his content. Jim Mitt, I used to kind of watch when he was bigger, you know what I mean? But then
yeah.
right. So then he gets with Comic Tom, they team up, they do their thing. But it seems like it just seems like a cash grab with them dudes. Like I mean, you're like I'm not into whatnot. I know some people are. I know honest people are, and maybe some that aren't so honest aren't. You know what I mean? That's fine, man. Get your money. However you do it, get your money. But it just seems like they're taking it. I feel, in my opinion, is they're taking advantage of the people who support them, who follow them. Oh, look, check out our variants, check out our mystery boxes, and you know what I mean. You know,
they're always selling something.
They're always selling something, and you know, and if you look at every other YouTuber, every other content provider like you guys, it's different. You guys will come out with variants. There ain't no a solo Wookiee variant. There ain't no McClay variant. There ain't no Pete variant. No Marco variant. There ain't no whoever else down the line. But these guys seem to like, oh, you know, do my mystery box. Oh, look, you know, now and then you know the acetate thing, and then now you're doing that M&M variant. So you're just cashing out, bro. You put yourself on the cover and you're cashing out. You know what I mean? You sell 50 of them, 100 of them. How much you make? How much you taking home with that?
Well, I'll be honest, man. I recently saw. I'll just say it was somebody that's like in their same type of crew or group that selling on whatnot, and I'll say this: it seems like they're all selling the same thing. It seems like it's the same books over and over and over, and that lately has kind of made me kind of a little questionable. Like what? Like it just doesn't feel. It feels like exactly like that. It kind of feels like it's just about money at this point. And there's a lot of people in our community, in our tent pole, that when money is involved, it changes a lot of things. It changes how they act. It changes how they look at things. It changes, you know, their morals maybe, or how they, you know, they might do things now that they wouldn't do earlier because it's putting food on their table or putting money in their bank accounts, you know?
Right. They need the views. They need the views. They need their money. They need their bread, and they're going to get it how they're going to get it. And I mean, it is what it is. It's what a culture is. That's America. Get your money, but you know, I mean, I don't. You know, it just it has always rubbed me the wrong way, and that's why I stopped watching Comic Time a long time ago because I couldn't. I didn't like his stilo. I didn't like his style. He was just taken from the urban community and giving it his own twist. And you know, we're all cultured. We're all tattooed up. You know, you could be from the suburbs and be a certain way. That's fine, but it just seemed that they were weird. It was like I'm just gonna take advantage because I look this way, I talk this way, and I'm into comics. Also, that's different. You know, I'm into pop culture, so that's different. So let me do my style. Let me do my thing. I'm gonna get with this guy because he's the same as me, and let's get it. Maybe that's not their intention. Maybe their intention is pure, but from what it looks like, it's just ugh. I can't do it. You know.
Yeah.
But I would always give credit to Mr. Comic Tom because he is like the second YouTuber as far as comic books I started watching. I learned a lot from him. I'll always say that. But, you know, I stopped watching him a long time ago. So I just wanted to come in and say that. You know, I appreciate McClay, Solo Wookie. We go way back. The
Yeah,
other two
brother.
gentlemen don't really know, but Happy New Year. God bless you guys and be safe.
Thank you, brother.
Happy New Year,
Appreciate you.
brother.
Yeah. Happy
Thank
New
you.
Year.
Talk to you soon, bro.
Okay, bro. All right.
All right. Happy New Year, bro.
Happy New Year.
Much love. Yeah, I that's what I want to hear. I want to hear what is the real thing, because I know a lot of people feel that way, that they that's what something you hear a lot, that they don't feel genuine, and I can't figure out why. You know what I mean?
I think it's because his shows are produced.
Maybe
it's not off the cuff like this.
Yes.
Like, I mean, you have like,
an idea. Yes.
an idea, but
they're
it
scripted.
flows. Like, I know for a fact that, like, if Tom is doing a show that's not, because it's all pre-recorded. Well, what is pre-recorded? Like, if they don't do, like, if a scene doesn't go like how he wants it to, they will redo that scene over and over and over and over again until it's good for whatever their standards are. So it's produced.
Yeah.
It's
I
also
see.
a little over the top at times. I mean, like
Yeah.
it's just
Mm-hmm.
okay. All right. Just,
Yeah, it's a production.
Yeah,
Production value.
But
Yeah.
even like I've watched it with someone else, and they were like, "What is that you're watching?" Like, it's like, if you don't know about comics, it's just like who is that? Because it just annoys people. Some people it's just too much.
There's something I want to say, and I've said this, and I'll continue to say it. I don't know Tom, so I don't have really anything bad or good to say about him. I'm not one of the persons that's going to say, like, oh, I don't watch his stuff. I don't watch his stuff, and this and that. The truth is, and most content creators will tell you this, it's just the way it is. We don't watch a lot of the same content that we create because, at least I don't enjoy watching things about comics. I enjoy talking to my friends about comics, if that makes sense. I enjoy this, and I enjoy creating content. So I'm sure it's also like, if people that have been in bands, like when you're creating new music, sometimes you don't listen to a lot of other people's music because you're always creating music, right? So I don't listen to a lot of Tom. Of course I've heard him. Of course I've watched some things and this and that. I know what he does, and his stuff is very polished. It's very set out, and that's also a reason why a lot of people like Tom. Here's what I will say. I've talked to quite a few people that all say the same thing about Tom, that he's nothing like he is on his show in person. And that another thing, that his dad is a real cool cat. Okay. And that is something that when I hear somebody say, hey man, I hung out with his pops. His pops is really cool, man. He's an old music guy who was in a band growing up there from Puerto Rico, this and that, and they're in this is where they came from. This is this type of stuff they were into when he's growing up. And this is a comment right here where Lewis says, Tom is a fellow Puerto Rican. Tom grew up in a comic store. He grew up in the US, hence no discernible accent. That's the thing that kind of makes me go, like, that's something that I can look at and go, okay, now let's get on the same wavelength, and maybe that can turn into a conversation and turn into, some type of friendship or reality. Like, I respect that, I guess is what I'm saying. I respect the fact that people have said, hey man, his dad is really cool guy, like a really cool guy, like very respectful. You would love to talk to him. He's very this and that. Tom's doing his thing. Tom is hustling right now, and I get it. And that's another thing that I want to hit on. Chad Cave made the comment. Let me find Chad's comment. He said, we mad at people because they're making a fuck ton of money now, because I'm going to have to unfriend some folks. No, we're not mad that they're making a ton of money. And I'm not mad at any of it. But this is the truth. This is the honest. This is, and if you don't realize this or agree with this, then I don't know what to say. There are some people out there, when money gets involved, right? It changes how they do things. It changes how people. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. You might not be that way. You might not think somebody else is that way. That's just the way it is. There's people out there, when money gets involved. you might have met them before they were making this money. Now, you know, they're getting involved in whatnot. They're getting a ton of money. They're working for this money. You know, they look at it like, hey, I'm just doing my job. You know, it changes how they think of people thinks about things. And
it's not just comics when they talk about that side. That's just life.
Everything.
That's everything.
Yes. Yeah. So, you know, at some point, I think at some point I'll see Tom at some convention or talk to him behind the scenes or see him on a show or on a collaboration or somewhere, and I think I'll have that chance to maybe talk to him more. But at this point, I don't know much about Tom, and I don't know much about Gem Mint, so that's why I ask people. That's why I want to know. But that is one thing that I hear a lot is it just they don't feel genuine, and it man, it's so weird. It's so weird. So.
I think it goes back to Josh's point. If people have their own business, they kind of have to do what they feel is the right way to run their business to make money. And if people make money, and everyone's got a different way to do it. If they're good with it. It is it's their business. They can run things however they like. It's your preference whether or not you want to follow them, like them, watch them.
Well, and with that said, I want you all to know. I'm watching every one of you motherfuckers. I watch YouTube. I don't watch TV. That's all I do is watch fucking comic books and cars. And I'm watching all you motherfuckers. I may not be commenting, but I promise you, I'm catching at least one of your shows, if not multiples. I watch all of them. And I just absorb the information. Now, some of it, it's just background, like people listen to the radio. I don't like the radio. I listen to it in the background when I'm driving in between service calls for work because it's better than radio. Now, and I'm not throwing shade at anybody when I say this. I don't give a shit about anybody else's game. I worry about my game, what I'm doing. I don't give a fuck what Comic Tom does. I don't give a fuck what Gem Mint does. I don't care if they're screwing people over or if people feel duped by them, or that's none of my goddamn business. I'll take care of me and what I'm doing. Because I don't play no game that I can't win, and I got to focus on my own shit. That's it. That's it.
Let me ask you guys something. That's a play. Like I'm, I got respect for people that are, that maybe he might be thinking along the lines like, hey, I'm not doing this to become friends with people. I'm not doing this to show people, how I am in real life. I'm doing this to create content. I'm doing it for views and this and that. I got respect for that. I just like this aspect also, this kind of more close aspect, because that's just how I am. I would rather do it this way than the other way. Don't get me wrong. I like the other way. I think it's fun having a really cool, content that's tight and looks good and sounds good. And I'm going to strive to that no matter what. But I also do this because I like talking to my friends. I like bullshitting about stuff. And
out of all the shows I watch, I'm only on one. I'm only on one, guys, because it's nice. It's cool. We talk here. We talk about the stuff people won't talk about. We look at things from different angles. This is the fellas hanging out at the comic shop. This is if we were sitting on top of a bin of flipping through while we're talking, that's what it feels like. You know what I mean? Like the old school digging days when you and three buddies would go out and you're sitting there shooting the crap and you're just flipping through, talking comics, talking music, talking about girls or fast cars or whatever. I'm on one show. There's a reason for that.
Yeah, man. I want to remind everybody, I put the link to the StreamYard. If you guys want to come hang out, the link is pinned at the top of the chat. So check that out. Adam, I sent you a link. Adam sent a message saying, hey, Brian, Discord isn't made for blind guys. Can you hook me up with a link? Everybody
I love Adam.
Yeah, the link is at the top of the chat. If you guys want to stop in and say something, you're more than welcome. We'd like to hear your views on all this stuff. All right, let's get back to this. Kevin Fields and Frankie's Comics. This is something I do respect. I respect Kevin for making the post and saying, hey, I'm not gonna, I want to hear what you guys say. I'll answer questions. somebody put on there, Kevin, hope you get through this and make wiser decisions from now on and forward. However, this is disappointing. I hope you get it squared away with your artist. I hope you don't delete my comment and are transparent about it. And Kevin immediately answered, I'm not going to delete your comment. I made this post so people can ask me questions. Ivan's debt is part of the bankruptcy filing. Legally, I can't pay him. The court decides who gets paid, how much they get paid, and when. I can continue to operate my business and help other customers. Happy to answer questions. Here's the thing. You think artists are going to want to fuck with him anymore after that?
No
way.
way.
I don't think they're going to be around anymore. So,
yeah, I mean, why would you draw anything for him? And again, what we saw with the debt, like if you're a Random House Penguin or if you're like, why would anyone even ship him books? Like, I don't even know how you actually have a business going forward.
Yeah. Richie, that 45 minutes of sound check was trying and not pulling it off, but it will. It will. We'll pull it off next week. And you just bounced. Where are you at, brother?
Yeah, welcome. You ain't on here, Richie. That's part of the reason I jumped on. I was like, yeah, Richie's on. Let's go.
Hey, he looks like he's selling books. Good job, brother. Yeah, I don't know, man. You don't think that this is like all this is an effort to do that? To survive? You just don't think that even
I guess I'm thinking from the other person's perspective, because if I'm an artist, I'm not taking, I mean, unless you're giving me cash up front to do a piece for you, I'm not working with you. And then if like Josh and I are pals and you owe him money, well, I'm not going to come do something for you if you pay me, because why don't you pay my friend first?
Yeah.
But again, I don't even know how you order new books because you have so much debt. If that's got to be ironed out in the courts between the distributors, and then how are you going to get new books? I don't get.
Yeah, yeah. I think this was just like they filed this just so they could try and go as long as they could, and eventually they're just. I mean, there's no way they're coming back from at least $1 million in debt. Like,
man.
I mean, selling exclusive comics? No.
I wonder how many times this has happened in the past, 5 years. How many retailers? I mean, there's so many. We've lost so many brick and mortar stores, and this isn't even a brick and mortar store. Frankie's isn't even a brick and mortar store. That's the other thing. Here's another thing. Frankie's was very instrumental in the variant game that we are playing such a big part of in today's comic book world. That being the exclusive variant game, and getting in on a variant, also knowing that you're gonna, if you get in on a variant, you're gonna get all the ratio variants, right? I mean, that when we found out about that with Moon Girl, Devil Dinosaur, and some of those other books, those were like, a lot of those were Frankie's books. That Kevin Fields was doing what he was doing, and I don't want to be considered that guy that is constantly like, fuck variants. But man, it seems like it's just getting worse and worse. We have somebody that is such a big variant guy, and that is always has variants available for sale. Multiple variants from, he might do 3 or 4 variants from the same title in a month. Like, it's crazy. How is he going bankrupt if he's doing that many variants? You know what I mean? That's a question that I throw out there.
I don't think that. So what I don't think they have as many repeat customers. This is my only guess, is I don't think they have as many repeat customers as they do one-time customers. Because if you look on those posts, there's people that say they're waiting for books. They've been waiting for orders for over a year now. There's people that say that they sent them emails and no one ever responds, and then Frankie said, I respond to everyone's emails, and the person was like, well, my unanswered emails say otherwise. And he's just like, if you look back on the page, he hasn't been transparent about a lot of things, because if you scroll down a little bit on that page, he talks about how they stopped taking PayPal payments because the fees are high. Well, no, you stop taking PayPal payments because you
they-
owe PayPal $130
Yeah.
$1,000, and when someone pays you through PayPal, they're instantly
gonna hold
taking
the
that
money.
money, and you're not getting it. So
Yeah.
you're lied. You're lying.
I will say, Josh, to your point, I had actually ordered variants from them like a long time ago, and it took a long time to get my books.
Mhm.
And I don't remember getting emails. I did remember seeing like following things on Facebook and kind of seeing chats, people asking like, "Hey, you know, this variant's out. Where's mine?" And there was always posting like, "We don't have enough help." And if you did call, basically you had to be proactive because there really was no customer service, and all you always heard like they're understaffed. That was what was posted. When you did call, I think if it was, I'm assuming it was Kevin. If they didn't really have anybody else, it had to be him. But when you did ask, you got kind of short answers that were kind of, I don't want to say harsh, but they were a little coarse. It was just kind of like, "Yeah, we're working on it. We'll get to it." It just, and I know I'd mentioned this, in some previous shows about just variants and use, once you buy from someone, you're on their email list, and I just unsubscribed. We were talking about variants, because it's so saturated. Because I've got to
Dude,
feel
I
like,
think we've
this
all
is not
bought
the only thing
off
that
Frankie's.
Yeah, it's exactly.
I've
It's
bought
not going to be
stuff.
just Frankie's. There are going to be other people, and maybe this kind of helps get that variant world kind of calmed down because it's just oversaturated. You need to get rid of some of these players. Sadly, I mean, just
can we get rid of Unknown next? Because I get like 500 emails to them a day.
I guarantee you that this is probably the first domino to fall. If there's not another store or two that don't go out of business in the next year or so, I would be amazed.
Hey, Josh, I was actually thinking like how many of these are already going on, but they're not as prominent as Frankie's that you just don't hear about them.
Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you what, I've bought stuff from them, but I'll never buy anything from them ever again just because they didn't pay Ivan Tao. Like, how do you have an artist do art for you, publish it, sell those books, make money, and not pay the guy that provided you the opportunity to get money from that book? That's like the dirtiest thing I feel like in the comic book industry that you could do. Like, I don't know what kind of deal they had. Maybe it wasn't an agreement where he got paid up front, but still, like,
he was getting
how
paid
do you?
sometime. Well,
yeah, and now you're just like, oh well, now I can't pay him. Well, why didn't you pay him? He didn't rack up that $6,000 bill yesterday. Like, why haven't you been paying him?
Hell yeah, Blind Adam.
Hey, what's up, guys?
There's a couple other interesting comments. One of them on a Reddit post about it. He said, "This guy says, I'm a brick and mortar shop owner here. Yeah, any business who relies mostly on store exclusives is not going to make it long term. I say this with no animosity, but it's just not a sustainable business model. The hit you take if one of the covers flops is massive, and $1 million in debt. Jesus Christ, the most I was ever in debt for my store was the original $15,000 loan I got to open it."
The one thing that stood about the piece that we read earlier was the 18 months that they've been losing money for 18 months, because it feels like someone at a gambling table in Vegas. They're losing, they're just taking on water and just trying to get it back. They're just trying to, and it's just getting worse and worse and worse.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I mean, you got to realize something from a comic book perspective. Forget us, forget flipping, forget anything else. I guess from like a comic book perspective or even a restaurant perspective, keeping your doors open during the pandemic was, and once you get one of those PPP loans, I'm pretty sure that's it for a certain amount of time. Now there's a lot of people doing fraud and shit like that.
I wonder if you got any PPP loans.
Who?
I'm
not saying
Kevin
he is.
Field.
I'm not saying
well,
he
no,
is.
that brings up a very big question.
But he probably, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. You know what I mean?
But if you're also talking that you were losing money 18 months ago, then you're talking the middle of 21.
I'm not talking about to the penny, bro. I'm talking about these.
I know, but I'm just talking about, you're talking a year,
No, I'm talking about through the pandemic. I'm talking about through from March 2020 till a few days ago. Shout out to Manny, the comic collectors, my boy. I've known him, good friend for a long time. He broke it about the restructuring through the Fed court. Was it chapter 13 or 11? Chapter 11.
Chapter 11.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to put it in a nutshell is the fact that they kept their doors open for that long, and they were already having issues. I mean, they weren't telling us what the print runs were. People weren't getting their books. I mean, the guy's a good guy. I mean, I've never met him. I've seen him. He just strikes me as like a decent person that just maybe bit off a little bit too much more than he could chew. And he got over his head. And next thing you know, people are pissed off. Okay, that's just part of business. But to keep their doors open through these 3 years after we already knew the turmoil, and then to file Chapter 11, not Chapter 7, but Chapter 11. So they're going to at least make an attempt to keep good graces. Open. Yes. That's
but is it 11 versus 7 just schematics just because you're trying to do
7 is Chapter 7 is not a restructure of your debt. It's an elimination of all unsecured credit debt that is completely unsecured, i.e. like a car loan, it would be secured, a mortgage, talking about credit cards and stuff. Chapter 13 is similar to 11. They restructure your debt through a trustee, and once they get a payment that's affordable to you and they cut interest rates and stuff, then the trustee pays each one of your creditors your monthly payment.
Is there one of these that excludes going after personal debt? Because in my mind, if I had my assets, if I would go after 11 versus 7,
depends.
If I can come after my personal assets, I'm gonna do 11. I don't really care about taking care of other people.
Well, you can't do it 11 unless you have an LLC, S corp, or you're filed. You have to. The entity has to be filed with this, with the state secretary, whatever, Sacramento in California. But 7 is your individual.
Proprietorship or something?
Yeah,
7's more for individuals.
Yeah, and a lot of 13s. I keep saying 13s because I was a paralegal for so long after the mortgage crisis that I worked with a lot of people with 13s without giving legal advice because I'm not an attorney, and I knew the guidelines up and down. It was very similar to an 11. But the difference between the 11 and the 13 that I saw is a lot of people, I'd say 90% plus of the people in the 13, they're basically restructuring their debt because they make money, but they're not a business under a corp or LLC. They usually fall out of that, and then that thing converts to a 7, and all that debt's resoluted. Well, with a Chapter 11, I don't know the statistics. Manny knows a little bit better because he actually works in the bank. I'm a banker, but I work in an office. So he knows a little bit better than me, or Brad Selden would know as well. He's an attorney. But from what I know with 11 is that, a lot of those don't get paid off. They switch to 7s. But when somebody does file that 11, that means everything's all filed up with the government, the state government, and the feds via S Corp, LLC. He didn't personally guarantee anything. And he's trying to keep it as far away from his personal stuff as he can, but at the same time, he's trying to save his business, and that's kind of what is happening here. Because if he wasn't trying to save his business, he probably realistically would have filed a 7. I mean, he would have filed a 13, and then he wouldn't have made the 13. He wouldn't have qualified for the 13, and usually the trustees 9 times out of 10 they just wipe it out. So.
Which is why I'm shocked, because I don't understand. I don't understand how he's going to pay $1 million back in comic books, like exclusives. I just don't.
Yeah,
it seems crazy.
That's a lot of that's a lot of fucking store variants.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely is. And 2 more comic shops or collectibles shops went out of business in the last couple of weeks too. That we know of. Dorkside right? Toys and Old Republic Collectibles.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Aftershock is going out or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Is Aftershock going out of business too?
They filed bankruptcy.
Yeah,
Aftershock, the publisher. Yeah.
You guys want to hear something fucked up real quick? I just got to add this. A lot of people are doing this in California that are filing 11s or 13s. 13 personal, 11 if they're a corp, or they're way above the 1%. What they're doing is they're so fucked up. They file the 13 and they get it going for a few months, or an 11 or whatever. It falls out, turns into a 7. And what happens is that if they reestablish their credit within 6 months, get trade lines, and they blow up a bunch of loans again. And what happens? They can't file for a 7 for 7 more years, but they can file a 13, and a 13 doesn't give them a discharge. And what a 13 does is that it restructures your debt, but you get no discharge. And a lot of people are doing that. So it's almost like a second chance in California.
Discharge?
When you say discharge, it means like if it doesn't take away the trade
Your
lines on the
discharge
credit?
of your debt, everything cleared. It's like, you're approved.
It's basically like getting a fresh start.
Oh, by the way, I just got an X-Men 94. I've been wanting this book since I got back into comics. I got back into comics 2015. I remember specifically that Halloween when I got back into Comics Unlimited, because that Halloween fucking Howard the Duck 1, Ron Lim 1 in 25 with Gwynpool was released that week. So yeah, I wanted that X-Men 94, that iconic cover, second appearance of the new team, and man, the market just drip. Finally, I just been talking to this guy. I sent him $667 plus shipping. He accepted it.
I see a lot of people asking in the chat, like, who cares about Frankie's and this and that. And listen, it's not about Frankie's. It's about the fact to me that this is a comic retailer that built its business on the back of the exclusive variant, right, game. And if you read a lot of the people commenting to all the posts about Frankie's, they say a lot of people are bringing that up, like this we're going to start seeing more and more of this happening. People are getting tired of the exclusive variants, and oh man, it's becoming a major talking point. So that to me is the thing.
I got a question. When did that Peach Momoko Frankie's variant Yoda cover come out?
Was that 2 years ago, maybe?
That was right before the pandemic, right? About 2 years?
Maybe either right before, maybe just a little bit afterwards.
Because they made a grip of money on that cover. I know they made a ton of money on that cover. It got me to thinking, did they jump in, they hit a big one, and then they, he kept diving into the shallow end, and he just kept trying to roll with more and more variants because he had one that was so successful? Was that part of a play because that book hit big?
It obviously he sold the UF4 125, the 9.8 for $40,000 on Whatnot.
But isn't the real issue that we should be going after or talking about it? It's like the elephant in the room is this is not good for the market. The front end retail market, distributor market, new comic book day, shit like that. Especially if Frankie's is going down.
Lion, do you have Venom on you?
What?
Venom. It looks like through the screen because of the thing. There's little.
Oh, it does. It does. He looks like a symbiote, and he does that thing with his eyes. Yeah. What's up, Rhinoverse?
All right.
I'm a big fan, bro.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Thanks, man.
Awesome. Yeah. I think it really just boils down to is that dude wasn't good with money. I mean, that's what else happens when you file. He didn't. I mean. Dude, if you're going to be $200,000 in debt with Penguin, you know what you should have done when you were probably like $10,000 in debt with Penguin? You should have stopped ordering FOC books. Like, you got to adapt or something.
Yeah, but bro, it's a disease. We're addicted.
I'm signing up for Penguin tomorrow. I can tell you that. I'm opening a new account.
I get we're addicted to it, but when I'm assuming that's his livelihood, is that business, and you gotta. I mean,
I'm willing to guess he's got other businesses. I just got this hunch. I think he's got.
Hopefully, they're not going bankrupt.
He's got shell holdings, and there's probably a little umbrella he separated himself from, and probably he's probably got something else going. But yeah, like Brian was saying at the Hot 10 last night, he even said this is not good. We were talking backstage, and Brian was like, he's like, I was like, it doesn't really matter because it's restricted. But Brian looked at me and said, no, it does because it's a big deal for comics. Yeah. And I didn't look at it like that. It's huge.
I blame Bitcoin and the Metallica Black Album.
Well, you joke about that, but it could be crypto, man. If he was heavily invested in crypto, man, just like everybody else that's taken a hit in that.
Excuse me, how does the Metallica Black Album play into this?
Oh, it's a joke.
Because I blame that for everything. The downfall of America started in '91 with the Metallica Black Album.
Okay.
I see the main poster of that is on a lot of these posts is Drunk Wookie. Is that the guy that has that badass IG account and Star Wars site?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dude, that guy has a sick Star Wars site, man. Like beyond sick.
Thanks, Mike.
I proposed and he turned me down.
Yeah, on Wednesdays too.
I want to get that guy on the channel, and he's always dropping some really good information. Like his IG account, he is on the freaking ball on everything Star Wars, not just comics. I mean, like everything. Talking about appearances that are coming out, all that type of stuff, man. That dude is freaking on the ball. So
Solo was the one that got me onto Mercari. I didn't like Mercari. I thought it was trash. And then he has this like he created this Brian. I don't know if you did it or Solo did it himself. This channel art that that red freaking Hydra looking thing you had at your Mercari. And I always used to I followed him. I was always kind of creeping, stalking him, and he was doing well. So I just kind of followed him, and I like Mercari.
You're okay, Avers. You're okay. Fucking fireworks.
Fireworks.
God, dude. Fucking
fireworks. God, fucking awful tonight everywhere.
It is.
Yeah, it's
People have
really bad.
dogs, damn it.
So if the firework goes off and your dog has a reaction, give your dog a little treat, and then they kind of start to associate that.
Really?
Like, oh, it's a big bang. Oh, a treat. Okay, I don't have to be afraid.
Not my dog.
It enforces a positive reaction, and then if they hear a firework and they don't respond, don't give them anything.
Yeah, I usually just kick them in the face by that time. No,
we drug ours.
You want to see a guy get canceled without saying anything bad? Talk about hurting dogs, dude. When I watch movies and I see somebody's like going to shoot the dog, I get pissed.
Yeah, dude. Fucking A, man. You know what, dude? If I ever am at a point where I can that I need to hire people, the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take them to a bar. I'm gonna fucking buy them lunch and a drink, and I'm gonna once we get talking, I'm gonna be like, "You got a dog?" And if they say no, I'm gonna be like, "Fucking sorry, bro.
Sorry, bro.
You got to be a dog owner, and you gotta love fucking dogs if you're gonna work for me. Otherwise,
right.
I don't trust you, dude."
You fucking lose.
Hire Frankie.
Right?
So
we are dog people.
At the end of Stray Dogs, I actually, right before it came out, I told Tony, you better make this son of a bitch pay. You better torture. I don't care if you draw and quarter him. You torture this guy really long. Like, I want to see this guy suffer.
Well, speaking about our boy Tony and Stray Dogs, make sure you guys check out his new stuff. We're gonna get him on here soon. Yeah, that dude's killing it. That dude's really killing it. All right, so one of the things that we've talked about, that I've talked about doing quite often, is talking about the creators first list that I have been doing. Oh, here goes my pup. My pup's gonna go crazy. What? You gotta go outside?
Is it 12 o'clock there yet?
Fuck no, I don't want to go outside. Yeah, dude.
Ryan, you can take him out. I could do my slides if you want.
All right. 1 second. After this, I'll do it. Right. So, for everybody that wants to check this out, it is a new list that I'm working on. I'm slowly moving everything over from my OG list. But basically what this is this is a new segment that we're going to have here on the channel. And it is our creators first list check-in. This is the Beyond Wednesdays creators first list. It is a living list that we're all just going to continue putting things in and updating as we go, and it'll give a bunch of people the ability to find these things and collect them. And as you can see, it's got tons of people. Mark Bagley, his first official work was the Marvel tryout book. It was a contest he wanted to get his job at Marvel. I have to figure out which exactly book that is. His first work, I think he sent something into Visionaries, but I can't find the exact book it is. And his first Spider-Man was Amazing Spider-Man 345. So you guys get the gist of what it is. It gives not only first amateur work, it gives their first professional work. It also will give if they're famous for doing a certain character, it'll give their first character drawing or story. It'll also talk about letters that they've sent in and stuff like that. So what I have done is I have opened this up to share with everybody. I'm going to share it right now. All
right. And just to remind you guys, I will be giving away that sports card lot tonight.
There's the link in the live chat. Yeah, we got a big giveaway tonight. And we also have, I'm going to put the link in the
right now.
Let's see here. I'm going to put the link in the description for everybody that wants to check out the link there. Let me do this. And everybody has commenter status. So if you want to add something to it, comment, and we'll update it. You guys, I also want to remind everybody to get involved in the Discord, download Discord, sign up for both the On the Radar Discord and Beyond Wednesday's Discord. At some point, I'm going to try and just merge those. So, figure out a way to merge those so we don't have to be getting into all these different Discords. But I want to try and if there's a way to make a community Discord of all of us, try and get, other shows and other places, place in that Discord so we can kind of all be close. And I'll add this into that Discord, and I'll give, the moderators and stuff will get access to this to start adding comments, and we'll turn this into a cool living document, and we'll do more of these. We're gonna make more of these cool lists and these type of things, and you never know, there might be, if there's not a website in the future, there will be. We're building to that website idea, so a lot of fun stuff. Check it out. That is the Beyond Wednesday's comic creators first list. And what we're going to do every week. So here's what we're going to do, you guys. I think we're going to try it every week, if not every month. It might be like the first week of every month we do it. We're going to go over 3 creator firsts that are on the list. I'll choose 3 of them, and we'll go over them, and I'll show you them. I'll make a cool little segment and show you the books and show you the panels and that type of stuff. And then I want to add 2 to the list every time we do that segment. So you guys start thinking of things to add to the list and this type of stuff. This is my favorite thing to collect. Shout out to Mama Comics Lucy, who's actually in the chat right now, part of the Comic Book Women. This is actually one of the things that when Comic Book Women first started, I said to them, to do this as a segment, go find creator first, do a spotlight on creators and creator first, and just because of how much I love it, and they actually do a great job on it. So I told them many moons ago that I would like to get them involved and maybe do some type of collaboration on with them on it. So maybe I'll get them involved somehow on it. But make sure you guys check out Comic Book Women. So very, very cool stuff, you guys. All right, Richie, you got it, brother?
Yeah, I mean,
you ready?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go let my dog out real quick. Do you want me to share your slide?
Yeah, everybody take their pants off.
No,
I'm kidding.
Mine are already off, bro. They're already off.
Oh, I like it. Helicopter.
So, yeah. All right, here we go. I'll be right back.
All right, guys. Just wanted to remind you guys, I am Rich Taylor. You guys call me Dollar. You can call me Dick, whatever you guys want. I appreciate y'all. You guys got me over 600, so I'm gonna give away some more stuff a little bit later. On our way to 700. 700, there will be a comic and a card lot. The card lot will include the Williamson PSA 10 rated rookie Zion Williamson and some other cards, and then we're going to put a nice key comic in there for 700. And then once 700's over, we're going to build the box like Mel did with Drunken Chat. So all right, so here we go. lot of Spider-Verse stuff, but there is some other stuff in the news that I wanted to go ahead and share with you guys. Daredevil Born Again, it is confirmed that it will not be a direct adaptation of the dark Frank Miller arc of Daredevil. So I know a lot of you guys are waiting for that, but multiple reliable outlets are actually now confirming it as news or an announcement. So just
I wish I could talk on the subjects yet. I'm still under NDA when it comes to anything Daredevil in the MCU right now.
Oh, okay, I didn't know you were involved.
Yeah, at the school for the Jewish Guild for the Blind in New York is somewhat involved in the show.
Very cool. Marvel Studios is developing a pair of follow-ups to Werewolf by Night, baby.
Nice.
Yeah, so pretty stoked on that one. A lot of us went pretty heavy on Elsa and her fam, mainly Elsa and some Werewolf by Night, Blaze, stuff like that. And this terrible freaking pudgy soft market just, you know what I mean? It just makes you sick. You just go, I gotta keep holding or I gotta wait. But a couple of books like Bloodstone 1, they fell big time. I mean, the of release, a really nice high grade raw copy you could get for around like $300-400, and then all of a sudden, they're selling below 200. I can't even get $125 for a fucking VF coffee, and it's pressable. So yeah. But anyways, they're going ahead and they're going to. The MCU is going to be putting together 2 other projects, and it is going to be in the monster supernatural kind of dealio. So stay tuned for that. There's not a lot of details, but yeah, that was actually an announcement, not a rumor. Daredevil star teases MCU cameos and upcoming reboot. I think Charlie Cox is trolling us. So I just wanted to bring this up so you guys know these guys, they troll us. And if they don't troll us, they don't know shit because shit changes all the time. And they, like Blind Adam was saying, those NDAs, they're serious when it comes to Marvel.
Yeah.
So
Charlie Cox, you are the Daredevil. Robert is Iron Man. You are Daredevil. That you own that. You're the bomb, dude. Don't ever change.
Okay, but was Charlie Cox yellow suit Daredevil when he was walking the walk of shame with no shoes on after She-Hulk? I can't believe they did that.
Yes.
I actually think for the tone of the She-Hulk show, there's no way you could have had dark, brooding Frank Miller-ish Daredevil in there, and it makes sense.
Yeah.
She-Hulk was a sitcom. It was meant to be funny, and if anyone wants a really good live action,
It turned into slapstick.
Yeah, unfortunately, it is. People didn't know how to write comedy for that show.
Totally agree.
You want a good She-Hulk live action? China. Google it.
Yep.
You could put him in a green costume or a purple costume or a striped costume or a polka dot costume. It doesn't matter. That's still Daredevil in my mind. I think he is so good in that role. I don't care what he's wearing. He's Daredevil.
Daniel RPK, aka Daniel Rickman. He writes in multiple. He's pretty decent. I mean, he's not as good as Murphy. I mean, they all have their strengths and whatever. It's just the ones you got to worry about that keep regurgitating the same rumor every 18 months, and the dude's living in his mom's basement, and Ben Stein hates him. So
I think Ben Stein's being too kind. It's that one 2 dudes jacking off in their mommy's basement, surfing the internet.
Yeah. So speaking of jacking off, there's 3 Marvel shows coming confirmed in 2023. That's a little bit upsetting. to a lot of people. A lot of people were really hoping to get more series to build this story context from the source material the MCU is using to make these films even better. But yeah, we're only getting 3 streaming series as of right now.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
No. Black Panther 2, as of Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific time, became the biggest grossing box office female-led superhero movie of all time. Just to let you know. A new image from Spider-Verse 2, aka Across the Spider-Verse and Beyond the Spider-Verse, shows Miguel O'Hara kicking the shit out of, or I don't know what they're doing. It's hot oil jujitsu. I don't know what it is, but yeah, they look like they're battling, right?
Man on man.
So that I will segue into. This is from the Wrap. Segue into the Spot. The Spot is the villain. Here is your second villain, supposedly Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099 report by the Wrap.
All right, that makes no sense.
Yeah. Spider-Verse 2 is more insane than the original. We finally made people nervous. And I texted a couple things and this and that. Spotted a couple. Had to search the internet, went to Twitter, got the Japanese version, the South Korean version, so on. And then it just got wider and more clearer of these Spidey characters in the back. But yeah, they're pretty excited about it. The production team for Across the Spider-Verse, I've never heard them talk this confident, so I cannot wait. I really hope it doesn't end up like a Thor 4, where they're just trying to put too many stories into a certain amount of time, right?
Yeah.
And it seems rushed, and I really hope it's not like that. It's cool that all these Spidey people that we have been specking on and hunting and shit over the last like 8 years, 9 years or whatever. So, since Silk came around and the Inheritors and stuff. But you know what, man? This stuff gets me fired up, man. I just don't want it to be fucking cheesy. That's all.
I'm with you, Dollar. I love my animation, dude. I watch more animation than anything, really. Yeah. And I have never, outside of a Disney princess cartoon, I have never seen this much advertisement for an animated feature in my life, ever. So I hope that they deliver, because if they build it up and build up really high expectations, they could be setting themselves up for a kick right in the shin bone.
Oh yeah.
A little bit like.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I got some more news. Sorry. Go ahead, Adam.
The trailer for this looks amazing, and I hope it's good. I really want this. I love the first one. I like a lot of the characters, so I'm really hoping that this is good.
I am too.
Yeah, so we have some more news. I'm going to just stick on the Spider-Verse since we're already here. There's a couple reports. The first one here is an exclusive. Spider-Verse 2 is not a kid's movie, explains senior animator. And this is an exclusive on the Direct, where RPK, one of his sites. Senior animator at Sony, working on the Spider-Verse 2 animation film, revealed the upcoming wall crawler from Earth 1610, you guys know as Miles Morales. This sequel is definitely not a kid's movie, and he is adamant about it. Sony Pictures Animation's Spider-Verse 2 comes with the lofty task of not continuing the story of the first iteration of Into the Spider-Verse, but following up on a film that literally redefined what an animated film could be. The first film took the medium of the animation, blah, 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 blah. Okay, we all know now. Now, Spider-Verse 2 is not a kid's movie. Let's get on that. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is not a kid's movie, according to... Okay. In an exclusive interview with the Direct's Klein Felt, Ari Santos, the senior character animator at Sony and Spider-Verse on the production team... Ari Santos, the senior character animator at Sony and Spider-Verse on the production. Ari Santos. Hey, you guys got to turn that off. Turn the Discord off. Turn the Discord off. We're getting the echo. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Thank you. That was creepy. Yeah, so basically he's saying in an exclusive interview, some of the choices, quote unquote, of these characters, these Spidey characters, there's so many, during the story had much of his team asking themselves and each other, quote, this is a kid's movie? I guess it's not a kid's movie, end quote. Okay, before I get to the next part, when I read that, I was like, holy shit, the Inheritors are coming. The Inheritors are coming. What do you guys think?
I hope so.
I'll go with what you said. I don't know.
Randall's like, yeah, sounds good. I'm in.
Which one do you want me to
love
share, Dollar? Your slides or your share screen?
I'm trying to share the screen, but for some reason it just locked on me.
Sure. Yeah.
Can you get that off there?
Yeah, that could be good. I mean, that'd be a good.
There it is. I got it. Yeah.
It's an unforeseen. I mean, in my mind, maybe there's a lot more bright people out there than me by far. It's not a hard feat to imagine, but I wouldn't have guessed that that's what they would drop in this movie. So that'd be kind of cool to get a little surprise.
I mean, I could read this entire. I'm not going to bore you with that. It's just you guys can check it out. But they did continue with another excerpt in the sense that they titled or subtitled "What to Expect in the Across the Spider-Verse," the Spider-Verse 2, Into the Spider-Verse 2. It is reassuring to know that Across the Spider-Verse will not lose that more mature edge that was seen in the last film. While no one should expect something dark and gritty like Netflix's Daredevil or DC's The Batman, this franchise can still deal with more complex characters and narrative decisions meant for an older audience. Inheritors. What should be even more exciting, though, is that despite this mature bent coming over from Into the Spider-Verse Part 1, there was an effort to make this film, quote, completely new, end quote. So that I think that's pretty cool. They're not giving us, you can, I read the entire, they're not even giving us one. They're not specific. They're very vague. I think Solus, the Inheritors, I think they're going to be in the last trailer. That's what I think. So
I hope.
Maybe there'll be more in part 2 than part 1. I mean, this is going to be a 2-part movie.
Let me get these slides back up here.
If they don't do Inheritors, it's like the biggest missed opportunity that they've ever had in their life.
Okay, so let me go ahead and share my screen. There's a couple things I want to talk a couple spec books, and then I'll give the mic back to Brian. I'm glad Brian's here because he's pretty good at this stuff. But let's go here. There's a new rumor just broke about an hour, 15 minutes ago by Charles Murphy. New rumor reveals the Avengers' final foe in Secret Wars. What? So let's do it. Let's see what it says. As Phase 5 prepares to kick off soon with Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, fans are just starting to get a sense of what Marvel Studios' multiverse saga is going to truly be all about. After the revelation that the new saga will conclude in the year 2026 with Avengers: Secret Wars, fans have been sure that someone other than Jonathan Majors, Kang the Conqueror, would be the villain of the piece, Dr. Doom. It turns out they may have been right, sort of. A new rumor from Twitter user, we were just talking about this guy tonight, My Time to Shine Hello, all one word, has revealed that Secret Wars is set to introduce this guy's pretty decent too, a classic Marvel Comics character and the entity behind the original 1984 Secret Wars event, the Beyonder. The rumor comes with a twist. However, in that MCU's version of the Beyonder will be yet another variant of Major's characters. And here is the actual tweet. If you guys can't see, that's right there. The Beyonder will be the main villain of Secret Wars and a Kang variant. While a lot of online conversations about a potential villain centered on Dr. Doom, who was the primary antagonist of the 2015 version of Secret Wars in the comics, it seems, if the rumor is true, that the MCU has chosen to make their big saga ender a mashup of the 84 Jim Shooter and the 2015 Jonathan Hickman events, along with tie-ins, so on and so forth, with both Incursions and the Beyonder playing roles.
And guess who's going to come in and save the day?
Who?
Doom. Doom's going to save the day. You watch. Just like he did in the Hickman run, they're going to make Doom a good guy and a bad guy at the same time if they're smart. And I'm not saying I take credit for this, but if you remember, Richie, we talked about this a while back, and I said that, in my opinion, if they want to do this really cool and they want to bring in Doom, you bring in Doom without the Fantastic Four, right? And you bring in the Beyonder as the bad guy in the first phase, and you have Doom come into the universe, helping the heroes to beat the Beyonder. But he's a bad guy. He's not a good guy at the same time. So I think that's a great idea.
Hey, Brian, real quick, I'm trying to get my slides back up. For some reason, it's not going up there.
There we go.
There we go. Okay. Okay, so we have a definite guide to the MCU timeline to be released. It's going to be released on Monday.
That looks kind of cool.
So just so be aware. 2022 year in review, favorite MCU moment. I cannot believe it is New Year's Eve right now. I mean, 1 year ago right now, Brian and I did this. Me and him, completely off the cuff, just last minute put the freaking content together, and we rolled through 2 almost 10 and 2 hot 10 lists from the prior week. We took off for the Ben was off or something like that. It was crazy show. It was so fun. So happy New Year to all you guys, and love you all. You guys are all my brothers. Even though Funhouse, I think he's more of a bigger brother to me, because he's said a lot of real nice things to me lately, and I really appreciate that. Kind of like how Brian does me. Keeps me on my feet, and I thank you guys for that. But my favorite MCU moment for 2022 was Kamala Khan. I thought it was going to suck, and I was bummed about it, and it was actually really, really good, and I was really happy about that.
Mm-hmm.
So what about you guys?
Oh man, I was bummed out about a lot of things, but I think Namor was good. I was bummed out about. I didn't like Moon Knight. I didn't like anything other than Black Panther 2. Man, I'll be honest. And the Guardians of the Galaxy stuff was good. I didn't like anything.
Love Guardians.
I didn't like anything.
Are you including like books too, or just shows?
No, the books are good. The shows, I mean, mainly the streaming series. But I mean, Thor 4 sucked. Oh, it was horrible.
Yeah.
Such
I started showing my wife that tonight. And it was my first time to see it since it kind of was released. Man, it just pisses you off. At the very beginning, it was just it sucks because they don't. That's where they missed the whole damn thing. Was just the very beginning. It's like they could have just spent 30 minutes on Gore's background. That would have been. It would have tied in a lot of the heartstrings and stuff.
Man, you should go into Reddit and talk about how Taika Waititi ruined Gore. Oh my gosh, all those subredditors, diehard Marvel Studio leaker fucking people, they'll cream you, man. They'll down you. It's
really,
they love Gore. They're pissed at Taika Waititi
just because they have no idea what they're missing.
It would be really hard to pull off Gore anyways without a shit ton of CGI because in the comic, hold up one sec. In the comics, as he transforms, like similar to the movie, as the all black, the Necro sword is going through and completely finishing the what is that, the bond or whatever. He in the comics, he's just kind of naked. And he has like a little jock, and the thing that's kind of covering him is the symbiote from the sword. That's why it would be really tough. But I thought the MCU really was fucking lazy. They put him in a Friar Tuck muck costume, and he had a goddamn skirt on that he looked like he was cooking dinner for the fucking Dallas Cowboys. When he was sword fighting with Valkyrie, and it just looked terrible, man. I'm surprised he wasn't wearing Birkenstocks.
Yeah. So at first I was really all bitter about the way he looked. And then when you hear from the reports from Christian Bale, the reason why he looked the way he looked, that's disappointing and stuff. But I kind of was like, at the end of the day, if the character's done correctly and he's able to portray the character in a way that you buy into and you have, that has those heartstrings and whatnot, the look is just the look. I mean, he can define that, and that doesn't mean that look can't come in later on. But the problem with that was that no one knows who Gore is. They still don't know who Gore is. They told his story, which tied in everything. It brought in like how you feel about him and the reason why he was doing what he was doing. And me personally, read it. There was parts of it that I could really identify with, and I was just like, dang, where you're down and out and you think that you're doing something positive or as working with with a higher being that's positive, and you come to find out that they're not there, or they're just not what you think it is. Those feelings never got pulled in at the beginning. It was just done in 5 minutes, and they did a good job with just talking about his daughter dying. But if you take an extra 15-20 minutes to show like his wife dying, and then who she was actually pregnant with this other child, and these other little things, it brings in so that there's more buy-in into the character, and that's where they missed like tying into that, because you just didn't really. He was very surface level character in the movie. It felt like, I mean, he was the main character, but you didn't know him, and you didn't have to do multiple movies. You just had to spend a little time at the beginning, and they added a bunch of kids, I think, at the very end of it to try to bring the family aspect into it. When I think Gore's just kind of a really brutal individual to begin with. So it was cool, but you definitely could have been done better.
Well, don't forget the source material still there in King Loki. He becomes the what the fuck they call him? He's like reborn, and the all black, the necro sword, that Loki, the old man, or that other Loki variant, brings him back in King Thor, and he becomes. People were calling him Gore, the God Butcher, but I think it's the God of God Butchers, and that's a really good miniseries, by the way. I really suggest you guys check that out. I think there's only 5 issues. King Thor. It's out of continuity. It's Jason Aaron, of course, but he becomes a whole nother character, and then he realizes like. I don't know. There's still more to his story. I think there's still meat on the bone. You just need to have the right people taking care of it, and it needs to be a little bit of time in between.
Well, I'm a huge Venom fan, as most folks know, but that Thor story about Gore is probably one of my top like 3 or 4 favorite stories. And the way they developed his character, I love that character, and it didn't have anything to do with like symbiotes or anything like that. It's just his character and the way they developed. I just really, really like that 10 or 12 issue run.
Yeah, that's a good point. Just to segue into this, why won't this screen share? I don't know what the fuck.
I haven't seen Black Panther 2 yet, but I would say my favorite.
I haven't yet either.
My favorite MCU thing of 2022 was probably Werewolf by Night.
Yes, I agree.
Agreed.
Werewolf by Night was cool.
Yeah, Werewolf by Night was my favorite. Yeah, that
it was unexpectedly
It's
cool.
worth watching.
Yeah,
one of the ones I haven't had a chance to watch yet.
Oh yeah,
dude, and Man-Thing's awesome too.
Mm-hmm.
So cool, man.
Check that out.
What about you other guys? I don't know if you're into this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I watched. I was just flipping through it like before I got on here. I was sitting with my wife. I was looking back at some of the stuff. I mean, the She-Hulk thing, if you take it for like it being comic true, it's not going to do. You're not going to like it. But if you look at it as kind of like it's just a show that wasn't at Marvel. It's kind of a goofy show. It was like, the thing was, my wife was watching it. She doesn't watch much stuff, especially the Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
But she was like into it because it was a real girly, goofy, cute show or whatever, which brought her in. And she was like, cool. And then like the other comic book stuff that came along with it, it just made her ask more questions about, who's that and who's the Daredevil guy, and blah blah blah. So it was a smart move for I think from Marvel to put that out, because most folks who are like comic true or purists and whatnot are not going to like it. But for those that are not, such as my wife. She thought it was cool.
Well, tell them to sell their superhero stuff and just stick to Star Wars. I mean, that's what I usually say, not in such a condescending voice, but I always would say, like, to people, like, I was like, oh, Disney's so smart. They bought Marvel Studios, which is basically they just use the comics as source material and they have their own continuity, versus, oh, let's also get Star Wars because that is the, you know what I mean? That is, it comes, you know what I mean? It's so comic and story accurate. But anyways, yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. I don't want to bore you guys too long because Brian needs to. He's got some stuff you want to talk about. Would you mind if I just finish this?
No, I'm good, bro. This is great, dude.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I just want to give my favorite Marvel moment real quick.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, sorry.
Which was probably seeing the Illuminati and Doctor Strange.
That was pretty cool. That was very cool, actually. That little fan service there.
It was cool to see Patrick Stewart on Strange Professor X probably for one last time.
Yeah.
It didn't suck as much as I thought it was going to be, and my other favorite Marvel moment is technically it's a movie, but technically it's not a movie. Just Google Spidey Pool live action Spider-Gwen on Google, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Bro, I'm not gonna go to one of your tricky YouPorn websites with you holding a microphone between your legs. You ain't gonna
No. There was a Spider-Gwen porn parody that was done.
I'm kidding.
I may be a little biased because one of my friend is the actress.
Hey, you're the one that's pulling the porn stars, all right? I have nothing.
Yeah, man. Next week, man. Next week.
All right. So there's a rumor, but
wait, I got one.
Yeah.
I got one that nobody mentioned.
Okay.
My favorite moment of all of the Marvel and Star Wars and everything was that they dropped Quinlan Vos in Obi-Wan. Just them dropping that name opens up a whole list of canon for them to tap into. And if we can get the Quinlan Vos and Asajj Ventress story, I will die a happy man.
Yeah, that's cool. That's too bad it's not the MCU, but yeah.
Well, that's okay. The other one was Werewolf by Night, but
I was like, here goes another conversation. We're going to be here for 45 minutes because Brian's going to get in there and school us all, and then Soul is going to school us all. But anyways, anybody else? I wanted to try to finish this out for you guys. Let me know. Okay, cool. Rumor: Key Collector Comics went ahead and alerted it today. I don't know if you put Ben Affleck's name on there, but maybe it wasn't Key Collector. I don't remember who it was, but I just remember that Dario Aggo books have been what's his name? Dario Aggo Minotaur.
Yep, yeah,
they've been selling like crazy. They've been selling like crazy since Wednesday, and I don't know why. And now all of a sudden, Ben Affleck is in talks with Marvel Studios for an upcoming role. Ben Affleck has gone through quite the journey when it comes to superhero franchise films. Obviously, the actor has made quite the name for himself, and we don't need to go through all that. But
is that number 15, Richie?
What was that?
Thor: Love and Thunder, number 15, first appearance of the.
No, it's 19 is Dario's first, and then he becomes a Minotaur in 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
What book?
I got both of those.
Thor: God of Thunder, 19 and 20. Okay, so back to it. So the same guy on Twitter, My Time to Shine, hello. Pretty cool person. He's trying to get an IG following, but he's got a little mouth on him like all of us. So you just got to take it with a grain of salt. Do your own due diligence. But he's saying that that Marvel Studios, he's saying they're in talks, but then it says in this excerpt here, may be in talks to tackle the role of Dario Agger, according to My Time to Shine, hello. For those that don't know, Dario Agger, he's actually a villain better known as Minotaur, and was a reoccurring antagonist for Thor throughout the comics. At one point, it was even a guess that Christian Bale was going to play Dario Agger in Thor: Love and Thunder when we were all grasping straws, hoping he was Beta Ray Bill, but that was neither here nor there. But before he ended up taking on the role of Gore the God Butcher, The character had a major role in the War of the Realms event in the comics. That was a Jason Aaron deal too, as well as appearing in the iconic Immortal Hulk series by Al Ewing. His potential addition to the MCU would open up some rather interesting possibilities. If this is a one-time appearance for Dario Agger and hopefully Ben Affleck, it would be fitting if he had a role in the new Captain America 4 film subtitled New World Order. Agger is famous for also being the president of Roxxon Energy, a company that has been a part of the franchise, the comic book franchise, for a very long time, but also has been confirmed in the MCU because during the Loki series, we saw Roxxon signs and so on and so forth. So that was pretty cool. Let me go ahead and pull this off, and I'm going to go ahead and throw these slides up because there's a couple little spec books I wanted to ask you guys about. I think you guys are going to really like or you're going to hate, and then I'll shut up the rest of the night. All right, here we go.
Shout out to our boy Nate. He popped off. Who is a big fan of Dario Agger being in the MCU. He's always talked about how he thought Christian Bale should be that character. So,
yeah, I totally agree. Okay, so let me go ahead and that's a good call. That's a good call. I like that. All right. I think Dario Agger would be like an interesting character. I think he would be like a better Justin Hammer. Like, I really wish they didn't have Sam Rockwell play Justin Hammer. I love Sam Rockwell. He's so good. He's such a good actor. The dude's funny as shit, and he can play any role. And that's another freaking burn. But I'm also thinking that Marvel Studios, even though they're rich as shit, they're rich as shit for a reason. Not only making movies, but smart with money. And they try to lock up these actors right when they hit their like A-list ride, and then they lock them in, and then and then I bet you Rockwell was probably too expensive. So anyways, all right, let me get this up here.
Did you talk about She-Hulk yet at all?
She-Hulk, go ahead, Brian.
She-Hulk is rumored to be showing up. Red She-Hulk, that is. Betty Ross, Liv Tyler returning to play Betty Ross as Red She-Hulk. So,
that was that was on a Brazilian or Brazilian or Mexican Marvel side. I don't think it was like a legit.
That's My Time to Shine doing that.
No, it didn't originally come from that. It didn't originally come from
where I saw it is from My Time to Shine.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. People were arguing it in the CBSI spec group, like dumb as shit, and I don't know why they waste their time in that. But anyways,
I think I'm banned from the CBSI.
Well, no, I love CBSI. I love all those guys. I love that group, but I don't understand why people go in there and they want to argue,
yeah,
like
about spec.
Yeah, it's like, and
it's silly to argue about spec. It's so much easier just to be like, all right, that's one spec play. Here's another, and not get mad about spec plays. It's so fucking cheesy.
You mad, bro?
All right, let me get these up here, and then I'll get you guys going. We can move on. All right, so I know a lot of you guys are going to have these books, but I want to go ahead and mention Hugh Jackman did a big boo-boo on Twitter the other day, Twitter Live or Periscope. During an interview, he basically confirmed, and if you guys don't want spoilers,
spoiler warning,
that they are going to use Cable time slide and watch in Deadpool 3. So
that's cool.
Nice.
There we go. Childish Gambino is playing this dude on the left. I forgot his name.
Hypno Hustler.
All right. Here's the one I was really excited to tell you guys about. Thor Love and Thunder, aka Thor 4, cut a major villain before production. And according to the production team, it was all set in pre-production, and they already had the default images and programs, so on and so forth. So here it is, and they're leaking it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Ooh, that looks dope.
Yeah. This came from The Verge, which came from Marvel.com. So,
man, they were trying to cram so many stories into that movie.
Jesus, I know, man. They might as well just made it like Endgame, made like 3 hours.
I like to have like one of those long movie developments. If they don't do him something like that, I mean, I don't know. They can't. It does kind of annoying. Like with Thanos, they did it. They drew it out, and you get to learn. And I think they need that more often with the villains instead of just the main characters.
Well, that's been villain spec our whole lives, right? I mean, it's always been a short-term solution unless it's a symbiote or something. All right, back to the Spider-Verse. Spider-Verse 2 producer, as we mentioned earlier, confirmed there's actually 2 antagonists in the sequel. Spot, of course, and then Miguel O'Hara, 2099. Spot looks so cool. I like these books because you guys know I was doing the Where's Waldo thing this week with the poster. I was trying to get out there quick. A couple I got wrong, most I got right. But thank you guys for playing that with me. You see Bombastic back there. You see Ben Reilly on the left. You see the African-American Spider-Woman, who they're calling Jessica Drew. The new design of India Punk's back there. There's just multiple. Well, Bombastic's back there, but this guy right here in the cowboy hat, who's standing right next to Julia Carpenter, he's the web slinger, and he's a pretty damn badass looking Spidey character. I believe his first appearance is in this Vault of Spiders, multiple other first appearances as well. Here's a so many new names. First full solo cover. But it's only cover A. I think it's like a number 2, 3, 4 issue of that 2019 6-issue series. I'm guessing there's probably less than 20K in circulation, and it's probably pretty tough with that white. So, and then of course, all you guys that were bitching and complaining about this book for the last 2 years can now go suck a big fat you know what, because multiple characters are confirmed for the movie. So, meh.
Yeah.
And there's one of them. I don't know why they call him a disabled superhero, because he has crutches, but the motherfucker can do everything else, right? Like Spider-Man, right? That motherfucker ain't just disabled. That shit, he's just trying to get an up close parking spot.
That's terrible. He's using that.
Guys, just so you know, Julia Carpenter, the second Spider-Woman, she makes a cameo in 6 Marvel Superhero Secret Wars. I know a lot of you IG guys like to just argue to argue. I mean, I used to be there. I used to want to argue just to show like how stupid and miserable I was with my life. But anyways, that's another story. Yeah, she makes a cameo here, and please don't argue with me on what's a cameo and what's a cameo. Jesus Christ! If she's in the back, never mind. Anyways, just stick to the cameo full. Okay, all right. Here's the full appearance. There are marked jewelers available for these as well, and this is the second appearance. And I don't know why this is a key issue. Who's that guy on the cover? No, I'm kidding. Here is some pretty cool. I believe this is the first solo Spider-Woman title under Julia Carpenter, which is like a 90s nostalgia book. Like it seems like it would be on the Almost 10 or something, right? Here's another cool one. It's an origin of hers. And then, she becomes Madam Web. Now, what I'm hearing is that in Sonyverse, she is Madam Web. We'll find out more about that later. Harrison Ford talks about joining the MCU. I'll just put it in a nutshell. He is super excited about playing Red Hulk. Put it that way. Here is the regurgitated, recycled diarrhea. I've been shitting. Oh, my butthole.
Can you tell us how you really think?
Jesus Christ.
How do you really feel, sir?
Dude, my stomach's killing me. Okay, I'm gonna try this again. You have no idea what I'm going through. I'm trying to be a hype man. Okay, so here is this new rumor. Well, it's an old rumor, but it was rehashed and sent back to the toilet of the internet, which is called Twitter. And his name is, or their name is, Can We Get Some Toast? That's a really cool user ID, by the way. The Thunderbolts villain created by Valentina Allegra de Fontaine. aka Madam Viper later. They're saying it's a Dark Superman in the castings and not in so many words. They're saying it's Sentry. So let's take a look at a few Sentry books besides the obvious. Now, Sentry was very important in this, and we've been talking about this for a very long time. I know I'm so sick of seeing Dark Avengers, people trying to pump that book. I mean, that huge print run. But guys, I mean, how many times, Brian, have we asked each other or talked to each other over the last, and Josh, 3 years, and we're like, is it going to be Thunderbolts or Dark Avengers? Oh, it's going to be Thunderbolts, but it's going to be like a, you know what I mean? So, I mean, why? Remember, this is not comic accurate universe. This is source material, and they do their own shit. So why not just grab them? I mean, this book is like $5 right now. This book is a sleeper for Sentry. This is his full origin and the Void's origin as well.
Final issue too.
What was that?
That's the final issue too.
Final issue too as well. Good call.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for that. Here is the new Sentry cameo. This is from the 2018 series, and then their full introduction in 5. You guys remember this one? We had this on Tales from the Flip Side, and we all were running around speculating on it in 2017, 18. You know, Donny Cates was the shit. He still is. But anyways, this is Doctor Strange. This is 384, written by Donny Cates. Now, in this book, the Sorcerer Supreme of the 616 gets, I guess you could say, I wouldn't say possessed, but he bonds with the Void. And it's almost, people are getting confused, like it's a symbiote, but it's different. You got to read it. So, but here's the one you want to look for right here. And I honestly, I mean, I don't see these books going anywhere anytime soon. The next probably, like, I'm talking comic adaptation, different media, character, less 3 to 5 years. But hey, get them while they're cheap. Get them while they're cheap, because when they're 3 to 5 years, and it does happen, because it big. You know what I mean? And this one was ordered by retailers under $3K. I believe Comic-Con had it like under like 900. But we know there's $3K out there. So,
is that a second print, or is it just a variant cover?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Is that a second print?
Second print.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty pricey.
Pretty pricey. Now, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to comics, especially the newest Strange run, but Sentry is now a new character, and he is the Revenant Prime. So that is now his new character. You see how the Void's like taking him over, but he's now wanting to be called the Revenant Prime Sentry. Mind you, in King and Black, the dude's half of his torso was like chilling in the park for like 3 issues. But anyways, I love the Sentry. I think the Sentry's great. Brian's a huge fan. We've been talking about him for a while. I thought Cates did him dirty over the whole when he split Carnage in half, and then he did it, and then he had Null do it to him. You know that's what he did. I didn't like that at all, but hey, I can't wait. Here is the first appearance of this new version of the Sentry. It is, and I confirmed it, it is in Strange 9. All right, that's it. We're done.
Hell yeah, bro.
Cool.
That's what I'm talking about. That's the type of shit I love, man.
Excuse me, guys, and I wish you all a very happy, very blessed, very abundant New Year.
You too, brother.
Go to sleep. Just want to say thank you for the entire community for helping make up for a shit second half of 2022.
Awesome.
Everything that's going on with my health. Yeah, you guys put
Amen,
a lot
brother.
of smiles on my face, and you guys are a great family. I love you all, man.
Love you too, bro. Where do
Appreciate
you
you
live,
too,
Adam?
bro.
What part of the country?
I'm in New York.
Oh fuck! When I go out there, man, we gotta hang out.
Brian, could you walk
like
the
I said,
next spot?
Also
in the
going to be
chat?
in Vegas for the next 2 weeks. So anyone in the Vegas community,
Oh, you're going to Vegas? That's like 3 hours from me. It's like an hour from Leg. Hit us up.
I will, man.
Thank you.
Hopefully I'll bump into Marcus next week too. So I remember he was going to be out there. But
Nice, brother.
Like I said, Brian, I gave you that offer, but I never heard nothing back. But I'll represent for everybody. I love you guys.
All right. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you.
Good to see you, buddy.
Okay. Man, sorry you guys, the fireworks are going crazy right now, so I'm dealing with that craziness.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I had to dip out for a little bit because it happened here too. I was like, they won't even be able to hear each other over the crap. My neighbors, are they shooting at each other?
Dude.
Like, was that a 357? What the hell just happened? Who brought a tank into the neighborhood?
It's like ridiculous right now, dude.
Oh, dude,
and then I'm trying to figure out how I'm playing around a little bit here with the Discord again and trying to figure all this stuff out. You guys, I want to remind everybody, get on board on the Discord, figure out how to use it.
I gotta figure out how to use it. I'm just suck at that.
Yeah. We're gonna be using that very heavy going forward. It's gonna be a big part of the community. I'm basically gonna switch over from StreamYard to Discord. So in order to be on the show, you're gonna have to be on. I'm not gonna be able to send you a link like StreamYard anymore. So it's going to be all taking place in a Discord room, which is going to be a lot of fun. But it's very easy to set up. It's just like StreamYard. You just set up your camera and your mic the same way. So, and then if you have it on your phone, you can. It's very easy to set up for your phone. I suggest that if you're going to use your phone in Discord, get a headset with a mic on it. That's all you need, and it'll work great on your phone too. It gives you the ability, like I said, I keep on talking about, it gives you the ability to call in, and we're going to figure that out going forward. I want to some of the things that I want to do is I want to get the community's take on some of the tier settings that we're going to have for the memberships, you guys. Of course, the first member tier setting is going to be 99 cents a month, and that's going to give you the ability to listen into live shows and to interact on the live shows. If you don't have that, only thing that you're going to be seeing is YouTube clips, which will be clips of the segment, like the segment Richie just did. It'll just be a clip of the segment, or if we do a segment on do a segment on our FOC stuff that we do every week. You'll get a clip on the segment, and you'll see those afterwards, a couple days afterwards, after I edit them. And we're doing all this because of the rules and stuff that's happening with these streaming platforms. Unfortunately, YouTube is very strict with their terms of services, and in order to kind of deal with that, we're going to have to figure out, ultimately in the end, you guys, what we're going to have to do is create our own web page and basically not only stream from the web page, have the community set up on the web page, have articles and entertainment and different types of content on there. So that is going to be the ultimate end goal here in the future, in order for us just to do what we want, so nobody can tell us what we can and can't say, what we can and can't talk about, how we can and can't talk, nomenclature and vernacular. I'm sorry, you guys. I cuss like a sailor. I grew up cussing like a sailor. I will always cuss like a sailor. I unfortunately, that's just how I am. And I hope you guys, one of the reasons that you guys like being in this community and like hanging out with us is because you enjoy the honesty that we bring you. And that's what we're always going to do. We're going to be that honesty. So the 99 cents tier will be that tier to give you the ability just to watch us live and to interact. We're also going to have other tiers that are going to have other goodies, and I want to know what type of goodies you guys want to see. If you were part of this community, what you would want. One of the things that we're gonna have on there is the ability to come and hang out with us after the show, because when we end shows, you guys, people jump in the backstage room and come and hang out and bullshit, and that sometimes lasts longer than the show, if you guys can believe that. So it's a lot of fun, and I think that's the best part about a lot of this. So you get to meet a lot of people, a lot of friends. You get a lot of backstories and a lot of stuff that you wouldn't normally hear on the show. So it's going to be that type of thing. So in 2023, that's going to be there. Also, we're going to have. We're going to be working with our retailer friends. We're going to be working with Bird City Comics. We're going to be working with Hive Comics. We're going to be working with Wanted Comics. We're going to be working with Jesse James Comics to bring you cool legacy items, whether they're cool variants that I want to work with them on. You're not going to see that on a regular basis. It's only going to be super cool shit that I like, that I'm into. You guys know the type of shit I'm into. You know I'm the type of shit that I like. So we're going to make those available for you guys to buy. I'm also going to do my best to, bring you, I would love to have Stein sell his Stein packs, to members. I'm going to be selling a lot of mystery packs in 2023. And for the only reason, you guys, I don't think it's feasible to sell on Whatnot anymore. Just for myself, it's just not a thing that I feel that the juice is worth the squeeze, if that makes sense.
Yep.
So I would rather just make cool things available to you guys and at a really good price. And if you guys want in on those things, you can buy in those things, whether they're mystery packs of collections that I get, but also, you guys, some of the content that you're going to be getting if you're a member is going through collections with me. I'm going to be getting these collections and going through them and making those things available to community members. You can buy them straight from us. So card collections, collectible collections, stuff at Jesse James. Whenever new collections comes in, I'm going to go down there and make stuff available to you guys. Percentage off of retailers like Bird City and Hive and Wanted and Jesse James. I'm going to be working with Anthony and Bird City for our FOC, for our McClay's Picks box, which is going to be available. I think I might do it every month or every week. I'm not sure. We're going to figure it out, but I'm going to be picking 5 books a week that I think are cool on the FOC list. And if you guys want those books, we'll make a tier available for those people that will get those books. So you'll get the McClay's Picks every week, plus something cool will be added onto it, whether it's a shirt for that month that will only be available for that month. We'll make something. We'll work with our cool new artists that we're finding with the help of you guys. Perfect example. I would love to work with Art by Fitz to do some type of cool Beyond Wednesday's shirt that's only available for a month or two, right? I would love to do that. I would love to work with, somebody with like our good friend Alex Garcia art, Alex Garcia illustrations, and have some really, there you go, Rhino version.
That just came in today from that.
Yes.
Yeah. We love finding these cool new artists that you guys are sending to me, and we want to keep that going. We want to work with those artists. So we're going to figure out cool ways to do stuff. And, the ability to work on the Discord server is going to be key. If you guys are not on the radar Discord server, make sure you jump on there. Maybe in the future here, we'll be able to do really cool, razzes and stuff like that, like we used to do in the past. I'm sure we could figure out legal ways of doing it. So it's going to be a lot of fun coming in the future. I just don't see Whatnot as being viable for that right now. And I don't know if I feel like if we created a cool community of like-minded people that enjoy all the similar stuff, and give all kinds of people the ability to buy and sell within that community stuff they're into, that's what we're going to do. And maybe one weekend out of every month, when we do foreign comic weekend, we do a foreign comic weekend for the community, and you get a 10% off. If you're a membership and you buy from any of us in the foreign comic weekend sales, you get 10% off of your sales. If you're a member in this community and we do foreign comic weekend, or we figure out cool ways to get you guys involved on not only getting good deals on stuff, but also being part of it. Like if you guys want to have a sale, I would love to get you guys involved in sales. I know Josh and Mel and a couple other people have been trying really hard to get YouTube sales going. We're definitely going to be doing YouTube sales here. We're definitely going to be doing Facebook sales here. I'm going to be working with Comic Book Shopping Network and Jesse James Comics and selling on every platform I can. And I'm going to do my best just to make it so that this community always takes advantage first of that stuff. So, all right. Let me run through a couple of things here. I want to run through a couple of said art things that I saw that were cool these last couple of weeks. I saw this was kind of cool. This is something that I'm glad Josh is here so we can talk about this. This is something that I saw. You guys all know that Jaime Cortez is a master of the foreign comic book art world. And this is a cool book that it looks like you kind of talked about and let people know about out there. Can you talk about what this is, Josh?
Yeah, hold on. I have one that I can like show off the pages.
Of
Even
course
better.
he does. Where do you find this shit? Dude,
I gotta drop off. My little one's crying. So,
all right,
for
brother.
hanging out,
Thanks,
guys.
Ryan.
Hope
Appreciate
you
you, bro.
Have a good first show. We'll see you.
to see
I'll
you,
see you on
Rhino.
Tuesday, whatever. And good seeing the rest of you guys.
All right. Love you, brother. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Love you too.
So I had one somewhere, so I'll talk while I'm off screen while I'm trying to find this. So that is pretty much like an art book on like the history of Jaime Cortez's horror stuff that he did. It's really cool, and it's man, where did those go? It's a really great way to be able to see his work. Obviously, if you don't have the money to try and buy one of his originals or track down one of his, original covers, I really wish I could find this book because then I would just show it off. What did I do with it? But it's cool. It's got like full page color photos and then a bunch of black and white stuff. The cover's badass. I mean, if anyone doesn't know or hasn't heard me talk about Jaime Cortez, he was pretty much like, I mean, he's, in my opinion, he's on the level of Frank Frazetta. He didn't do just horror stuff. He did literally everything in Brazil from like the early 50s up until like the 70s. He did horror, he did westerns, he did sci-fi fantasy, he did kids stuff, he did like funny books, like comedy comics and stuff like that. I mean, this dude did everything. Like I honestly don't know when he like slept, because he was just pumping out so much work, and it's gorgeous. Like his early stuff, like from when he first started in like the early 50s until probably like the mid 60s. I mean, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So much detail, so much. And I've gotten to see some of his like actual OA from my buddy that lives in Brazil, and I mean it's insane. It's literally insane.
This cover is insane,
love that shit,
man.
dude.
That's a dope cover.
Yeah, I mean his pre-code horror stuff was, that's the one cover I always show off with the clown that was chopping that woman's head off. That was one of his covers. That's really gonna drive me wild that I don't know what I did with this book.
Well, be on the hunt for this, you guys. That's pretty badass. I love shit like this. And we're going to bring this type of stuff to you the more and more that we see it. Another one of my favorite artists, James Jean, is an amazing artist. Of course, his comic book work is great, but it doesn't even touch his, the other stuff that he does, his modern art. And I just love this right here. This is a cool print, a Christmas print that he put out recently, I guess. And I'm a big fan of his art. A big fan of Ryan Brown, and this art that he did in 2016, this exorcism art, is creepy as hell, man. Look at that shit. Yeah, bro.
Damn.
Yeah. That is amazing right there, dude. Shout out to
there's a dude in the closet.
Oh, bro. Dude, this is creepy right here. This is just beyond creepy right there. So love Ryan Brown, love his art. Here's another one. Shout out to Johnny Desjardins. Did some really cool Wanted Comics variants earlier this year. This is a sketch he did of Jason versus Casey Jones. I think that's awesome. Just Sharpies and whiteout right there. So Johnny Desjardins sketches. These sketches right here are fan-freaking-tastic. So make sure you guys go check out Johnny's page. He's always got just beautiful stuff. I mean, look at that sketch right there, that Ghost Rider. That's not a sketch, that's oils on canvas. He's got this really cool art style that he does. This is, if you probably know this art style, this is the type of style that he kind of got big on, but that's not all he does. I mean, he's got beautiful stuff, and you guys know I love getting sketches on these all black covers, and look how great these are, man. He does just such a good job on those all black covers.
Is that pastel? It looks like a pastel.
Yeah, he does some really interesting stuff, man. That's for sure. But I really love that right there. That was fantastic. One of the cool things about the creator first stuff is finding information like this. This is the first time Todd McFarlane ever drew Spawn, when he was in high school, and he kept it. So pretty damn cool. Early art that he did when he was in high school. He always knew what he wanted to do, a character called Spawn, and he changed up the look as he went. But yeah, very, very cool. And this is the type of stuff you'll find more about as you get into those creator firsts lists and all that type of information. All right, one of my favorite stand-ups is Jeremiah Watkins. Shout out to Kill Tony crew. This is something funny he did for his kid that just blew me away here. Hold on here, let me restart this.
Spider-Man? Yeah! Yeah! Where did Spider-Man go? Dangerous. Where did he go? Hello. Oh my gosh, Wilder, who is that? No.
Oh.
Take up your head. Oh my gosh, look.
No, Spider-Man.
It's stuck. Oh no. It's okay, look. Oh, it's just Dada.
It's Dada.
Oh.
It's Dada. It's Dada. Spider-Man's Dada.
That was. Yeah, it's just Dada.
I love that cute innocence, man.
Yeah, it's just Dada and Spider-Man.
Watch this.
It's just Dada.
And
Here,
it's just
here, Wilder, you take
Dada.
it off. Are you watching Spider-Man?
Love shit like that, dude. This is one of the artists that I love following on IG, Mr. Skull. He picks cool art and AI art by people. This is by an artist called Darkening Mood. As you guys can see here, it says that he does a displays. All edits are done by him using stock photos and AI. So a lot of this is AI art and stuff. But this Santa skull thing with the fairy dust, going behind. Like, that looks so badass, man. That is just amazing right there. Also, you take off the Santa shit, and this could be a solo Wookiee.
I was gonna say that looks familiar, but a little more flesh and skin.
Yeah. This is an artist that goes by Bakaneko. I don't know if that's how you say it right, but I love this shit. I am the king of fucking up, and I love the mushrooms, obviously. And if you guys know about going through a great mushroom trip, it's very inward self-reflection and makes you think about all the times that you could have been a better person and that you fucked up and treated somebody like shit. And this is just a great piece of art that kind of makes you think about that and kind of the inward self-reflection you go through on. The best way to put it is how Joe Rogan puts it: value-driven drugs. I think cannabis and psilocybin mushrooms and DMT are value-driven drugs, whereas things like cocaine and alcohol and meth, they're very angry. And when you get drunk, a lot of people get angry, and a lot of people get kind of angry and mad when they're on meth and cocaine and you're up all the time. Like, value-driven drugs are the type of drugs that you go smoke a joint or take a bong rip, and you sit there, and instead of like getting mad or going out there and wanting to party, you kind of just sit there and go, man, I really treated my parents like shit the other day, right? I need to be better. I need to treat my parents better, or, that type of thing. So I love this. I'm the king of fucking up. We're all that way. We're all humans. We pull that. We do that type of shit. Here's some more crazy art. I don't know if it's AI art, but it could be. This is from Light Beyond the Frame, and that is creepy. Pushing Up Daisies is what it's called. Look at that, man, dude. Just crazy. It says, dark side of AI art. And there is something about AI art that is very evil and is dark, and it has that darkness that you just you get a feeling it's AI art by the darkness you see in it. I mean, look at oh God. There is one thing. I mean, right here. Let me show you guys this. This right here is absolutely crazy. And this is AI art, but it looks real. Let me show you this. This is so creepy. Look at this. Looks like old photos, but it's AI art. Oh my God, bro. Oh, look how scary that shit looks, dude. Just creepy. Oh, dude. It's like there's that uncanny valley, that inherent creepiness of this. Oh my God, dude. So that's absolutely, bonkers shit. Here's something that else is absolutely bonkers.
What is she eating?
Who knows? An onion?
A green burrito?
Yeah.
What the fuck is
How about this one, you guys? Look at this.
For every action, there's a reaction. Never gonna have a guy running with this leg up and this arm out. You can, but you're gonna lose some of the energy that you got. So if this leg goes back, boom, this arm.
Jim Lee schooling all the other guys on how Jim Lee McFarlane schooling the other image guys on how to draw correctly.
For every action, there's a reaction here. I always start with the head, and I do all these ziggy. And
That's where your anatomy sucks.
That's right. Sorry, you got it.
Todd McFarlane was on point, bro.
Still
Helen
true
Neifeld, still true today.
Action, there's a reaction here. I always start with the head, and I do all these ziggy. And
that's where your anatomy sucks.
That's right. You gotta take the time and treat each shape, and learn the shapes. Here's the ankle. Here, a little ball there.
As long as this is always kind of connected here, this line, the chest from the bottom of the breast or whatever you want to call it, runs into the bicep line here, and then that makes it easier to attach that right there. Wilson and Jim are probably two of the better guys right now for anatomy and the superhero comic.
Definitely not Rob Liefeld.
I want to clip that and like tag Liefeld.
we're definitely going to clip that. That's going to be part of some of the what do they call those when certain things happen? This little clip will pop up, or it'll be Liefeld saying that.
Kirby's anatomy was not perfect. As a matter of fact, far from it. His knees were squiggles. But because he was consistent with everything that he did, it worked.
And the strength is in your gesture.
Right.
So as long as your gesture's there, actually, you know, you can. I flunked out on anatomy early on, but I was able to actually pull a lot of stuff off because the.
But you do the big jerk panels.
There you go.
I really admire Barry Windsor Smith, but early on in Conan, he did some wonky, wacky muscles.
Yeah.
But
give us a good image.
I love taking all the muscles and making them mean something.
Wally Wood's famous rule: if in doubt, black it out. There it is now. So once I get down to the leg, I try to put the puzzle together, and the puzzle ain't working.
Todd McFarlane still sounds the same. The rest of the guys all sound really
He
young.
does.
Todd McFarlane still sounds the same.
Beauty. We put a little smoke screen in there.
You got it.
We put a tree stump over here. We put a tree over his ankle. You ever notice why when Tarzan's standing, he stands in thick grass? The reason he stands in thick grass is because people hate drawing his feet.
Look at Rob Liefeld paying attention like that. Like, oh, he needs to get in on this.
Not too many people good at drawing ankles and little toes.
Where'd you find this, bro?
Todd hates this, but I always splash my ankle. Are you ready to stand? This guy looks great. Put a little hair. What do you think, Stan?
Stan,
could we take your place? Are we good video hosts?
Oh, hey guys, that.
Dude, that was epic.
And let's go with one of the greatest all-time trolls ever right here by Kyler Murray. I don't know. Blessed to be able to say I played with the GOAT at Larry Fitzgerald my rookie year. Miss you, LF. And Larry Fitzgerald responds, hey, Kyler, I think that's Brittany Griner, bro. Hope you're doing well.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh my God.
All right, so I found this. If you want me to flip through this really quick.
Yeah.
So here's the book. It's nice hardbound. Here's the back cover.
Damn, dude, that's dope.
This is the inside. I've actually seen this original OA piece. It's like a dinosaur hatching out of an egg, and then you've got the guys down there. Let's see. Let's get into. So you got.
Whoa, man, that is dope.
And this, he was doing interiors and covers. Like, that's why I have no idea when he ever slept. Because, I mean, so many lines in all of his work, too. So that was the man.
He looks like a young,
Superman?
No, Gene, the guy from SSC TV. Gene Levy?
Yeah, Eugene Levy.
Here's some interior panels. And look at all the lines.
Yeah. Damn. That's badass.
And then it gets into, so it starts out black and white. I've seen this piece. This piece right here. I've seen that OA piece.
Did he draw it and ink it, or
he did everything? He did literally
he did script and everything.
He did everything.
Damn.
So then you keep going and you start getting into his. I mean, he did here's some of his sci-fi stuff. I've seen this original art as well. But then you get into, so you keep going and it's black and white because they're still showing off his interior pieces. And then eventually it gets to, so it starts going into his color stuff.
Yeah, that's sick.
And then eventually, so this is all just interior stuff, but then starting in the middle of the book, right here, it starts showing off all the covers that he was doing. and then it has like full page.
Yeah, I want to
like
see the
full
covers.
page covers.
Yeah.
So
who did that crazy cover that I got from Roybal, that baby eating one?
Oh God, I have no idea. No
Was that
idea.
Randy Cortez? I love that
No,
skull.
that wasn't. Yeah, that's this
yeah.
one. Yeah,
Both
that's
of them.
that's a killer cover. But yeah, then he's got
The one with the candle. It's awesome.
yeah. And then we got, let's see what else we got. Movie posters. He did movie posters for movies in Brazil. Those are some of his. It's probably hard to see a little bit, but
They're
those are movie
badass.
posters that he did. I've seen some of his original movie poster stuff too. So then,
So how hard is it to find this guy's work around? It can't be easy. And what's
like
the
his
what's
OA stuff.
Well, even just his books.
I've seen this. Let's see if I can get it to that Dracula piece right there.
Yeah.
I know who owns that as well. So it's not when I first started collecting foreigns, I can't say it was like super easy to find his stuff. But now it's like dried up. Like the little bit of a honey hole that there was, it's completely gone. Like here's a
Rightfully so.
yeah.
What's an average price for one of the books or an OA or I mean it's got to be getting up there, right?
An OA I don't know because one's never sold to like anyone in the public, but the guy I know that has them, I mean he's not willing to part with them for less than like 6 figures. Because I mean you're talking about like OA from the 50s from Brazil.
Sure.
Like when are you ever going to find that? But if you every once in a while a cover of his will pop up on like eBay or something that you might be able to snag for like a couple $100 or something like that. Like I can tell you like almost 5 years ago, because when I first started collecting foreigns, that's what I was after, was that stuff. And you
Sure.
could pick those books up for like $50, $100 a pop. So I was just like, give me all of these. And like the clown cover, I think like maybe 2 months ago, I think someone offered me 5,000 for that book, and I turned it down. I mean, I'm not gonna part with that for anything that small. So I mean, I think one day
it's not, even if you sold it ain't like you can just go find another one.
yeah, that's the only copy I've ever seen of that particular book, and it's like I said, I compare him to like he's easily in that top like 5 artists ever for me, like period. So I mean, all of Brazil hails him as like he was like the master of art, because I mean he literally did everything. Like horror was just a small little piece of his entire portfolio. So I think
So
one day his stuff's going to be huge.
You say he did everything, but just everything in the books, or did he do just sign art for the neighbor advertisement?
See, I don't know. I don't know if he did stuff like that. I know, like just like comic book wise, I know that he did pretty much like anything and everything. But I don't know about like signage and stuff like that for buildings. I'm trying to find. So like here, I'll grab like some of his other not horror stuff really quick.
But he was mostly a comic artist.
Correct. As far as I know, it was mostly just comics.
Okay.
Like I don't know of anything else, like he did for like signage or like advertisements or stuff like that. So like here's one of his Like he did Jungle. So like here's one of his early Jungle covers.
Wow, that's pretty dope.
Yeah,
I see what you mean. He's definitely up in there with that.
And then here's one of his Western covers.
Frazetta and damn, dude.
And I hate Western books, but I had to have this. Like, it's gorgeous. So I mean, he literally, he did everything, covers, interiors. Like that's why I said I don't know when he slept, because he put out so much work.
Yeah,
damn, that's crazy awesome.
All right, guys. Well, I want to end the show by saying thank you to everybody out there that has rocked with us this year. We're going to continue next year, bringing you great content, including building the community to even greater standards and greater, things. And make sure you guys are following every Wednesday night on the Radar content, which is going to get better and better. And of course, Modern Comic Mayhem every Saturday night. We got crazy stuff coming. We're going to finally get Josh at some point to get a show going over here so we can talk more about foreigns with its own show rather than just a segment every week. It's too important not to have its own show at least once a month, if not once a week. So we're going to have that coming in the 2023 and even more. So thank you guys. Make sure you sub up. Make sure you guys hang out in the Discord, and we'll see you guys next Saturday with all the new goodies, all the new members tiers and information for the first quarter of 2023. Stay safe, and let's end the year off rocking to some great cover tunes of Wu-Tang Clan. Right? I mean, like, who doesn't love Wu-Tang Clan? And I want to say thank you to all you guys out there, and appreciate you. Have a great night and a great 2022. 2023 awaits. Much love. We'll see you next Saturday. I'm Modern Comic Mayhem.